What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
5BH. Chapter 106 We Can't Let the Breeze Be Treated Unfairly. Advertisement. Although Feijian didn't have the strength of Zujian, his personality was very strong. And since the Warring States period, it has been active in various battlefields. Especially his unique skill, Flying Thunder God and Shui Dun. No one knows. Among them, the Uchiha clan knows best. Senna, who was hailed as a genius by them, was lost to Fuma. Now that Feijian can take over from Zujian to manage Konoha Hidden Village, it is not this blood relationship. But, incomparably powerful strength, strong wrist. Every family patriarch knows this well, and sincerely admires it. He inherits the second generation of Hokage, which is undoubtedly the hope of everyone. Now that he wants to promote Japanese style to be particularly forbearing, he doesn't need to look at anyone's face at all. This is just a process. Push the breeze in front of everyone. Tell the major families that I am now appointing Hefeng as the special upper forbearance. You agree. Starting today, Hefeng is a special shinobu of Konoha Hidden Village. And what if you disagree? Sorry, I do not intend to agree with your views. In addition to his age, he stayed at 7 years old. In other places, the breeze is impeccable. Mind. Strength. Which one will lose to Shangnan? Moreover, he also awakened the same wooden escape as between the pillars. Mu Dun knows, right? That's the power that can suppress the Nine Tails. When asking the patriarchs of the major families, who agrees and who opposes. The whole scene suddenly fell silent. Wooden escape. The patriarch of the Uchiha family immediately opened the riding wheel and looked up and down the wind. Nowadays, there are many geniuses in their clan who have opened the riding wheel, but none have opened the kaleidoscope. And the Thousand Hands clan has ushered in a new Mudden user. In contrast, the patriarch of Uchiha's family was really envious and jealous. Heaven is jealous of the Uchiha clan. Advertisement. His writing round eyes, as if foreseen. Hefeng puts on the Hokage robe, stands on the Hokage building, and speaks to the villagers of Konoha. Konoha's Hokage is another member of the Senju clan. Obviously everyone is a famous family in the Warring States period. As a result, the Uchiha clan is declining. This feeling makes him very uncomfortable. I really don't know what the fate of the Uchiha clan will be in a few decades. I agree. Suddenly, the patriarch of Sarutobi's family slowly raised his hand to break the silence of the scene. Although Hefeng is the grandson of the original Hokage-sama, I will not be partial to it. I always hate ninjas who get promoted through relationships. Like our family's high/, I have never gone through any backdoors. Our family will never stand up and say a word for son/. I believe that the upright sir should have the same idea as me. Therefore, it is absolutely impossible for him to fabricate lies to deceive us for the sake of harmony. The patriarch of Sarutobi's family turned his head to look at Hefeng, and smiled. I think anyone who has seen the Nakanin selection exam will not question Hefeng's strength. Now he has mastered Mu Dun again, and his strength has been further improved. Completely have enough ability to serve as a special shinin. Hearing what the Sarutobi chief said, he nodded in relief. I agree too. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Patriarch Hyuga raised his hand for the second time. I don't think age is important, but ability is important. Since Hefeng defeated the Golden Horn and Silver Horn, I think his ability has been proven. With his excellent mind and strong strength, he guarded the border of the Fire Country and the village. If it wasn't for Hefeng to perform too few tasks and not contribute enough to the village, I think it would be fine to promote him directly to Shangren. The long words of the Hyuga family fell off. The chief Jikyun who was sitting next to him answered immediately. Patriarch Hyuga is right. The so-called position should be occupied by capable people. It should not be because Hefeng is the grandson of the original Hokage-sama. We just look at him with tinted glasses. If Kazuka doesn't have the qualifications to match especially Shinobu, even if he is the grandson of the original Naruto master, I would not agree. On the contrary, if Kazuka has enough ability to serve as a special Shinobu, even if he has no blood relationship with the original Hokage-sama, I will support him. Chief Shimura paused. So, my answer is, yes. Feijian nodded slightly, feeling that these patriarchs had said very well. Very knowledgeable and far-sighted. They are really thinking about this for the future of the village. Rather than selfish desires. This kind of fun and harmonious discussion atmosphere makes you feel physically and mentally happy. Next, is the head of the Nara clan. In our family, there is such a saying. Hunting rabbits, but fighting back foxes, such a person is worth exaggerating. Advertisement. While hunting rabbits, they hit the bear back. Such a person deserves applause. During the Warring States period, I heard about the two brothers, the Golden Horn and Silver Horn. There is no doubt that they are not foxes, but bears. In this regard, I can't think of any reason to oppose the Janjian proposal. As Chief Shimura said, because of the background of the Japanese style, we should avoid this and that, so that he will not be treated fairly and justly. Hefeng's origin is not something he can decide. If we oppose the promotion of him as a special upper endurance because of this. So, how cold should he be about the village? So I agree with the views of several patriarchs. Wait until the head of Nara's speech is over. Black question mark with a gentle face. Like, he is not the grandson of Senjujuma. It's the grandson of Uchiha Madara. Subsequently, the patriarchs of the Chudao clan, the Mountain clan, the Kurama clan, and several other big families. They raised their hands one after another, indicating that there is nothing wrong with being promoted and being particularly forbearing. On the contrary, if he was born in Hefeng, he must be allowed to suffer unfair treatment. So, this matter is undoubtedly wrong. Unconsciously, only the patriarch of the Uchiha clan has not responded to Feima's proposal. But look at the current situation. He felt that he couldn't say a few words against it. Grunt. The Uchiha clan chief swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Envy and hate again. Why? Kase is not a member of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha and Wind. What a nice name. Damn it. I have no objection. In the end, Chief Uchiha had to sigh and express his approval. Okay. There was no problem seeing several patriarchs, and he took a deep breath. Since everyone has no objection to this matter, then let me announce the final result. Gentle style. There was a slight pause between the pages, and the tone increased. I hope you can understand that the reason why we promoted you to be a special shinobu. It's because I think you have enough ability and have nothing to do with whose grandson you are. I hope you can perform your mission well and contribute to the village, do you understand? Hefeng. Chapter 107 The Youngest Naruto. Advertisement. During the whole process, the gentle breeze was in a state of ignorance. In particular, although Shangren is also called Shangren, the strength is between Zongren and Shangren. It stands to reason that this level of appointment only requires a single sentence. There is no need to summon the heads of the major clans in Konoha village. At least Hefeng felt that it was unnecessary. So, I didn't want to solicit everyone's opinions and appoint me as a special kind of forbearance. Think about the breeze and analyze it calmly. Finally came to a conclusion. The focus of this meeting is not on special tolerance, but on Mu Dun. As the pillar that ended the Warring States period and created the history of Shinobu village. Known as the god of ninjas by everyone. And this era is not like Naruto's period. Everyone has only heard of the legend between the pillars, and has no idea of his strength. But the family patriarch sitting here is different. They are all ninjas who have come all the way from the Warring States period. Many people have witnessed Mu Dun on the battlefield. What kind of power is that? There is no need to explain in the meantime. In particular, Sarutobi Rishi inherited the third generation of Hokage, and hit it off with Danzo to engage in human experiments. In this way, I hope that Konoha can regain Mudden. Not difficult to see, the wooden escape between the pillars is powerful enough to affect the next generation. In the speech before appointing himself as special shinobu, the tone was deliberately emphasized. Explain the fact that he has mastered Mu Dun. Moreover, when this incident was mentioned in the door, all the patriarchs of the big families present took a breath. The eyes are full of shock and sluggish eyes. Take a step back. Even if this matter is really important, it requires the patriarchs of the major families to be present in person and discuss together. You can also summon me alone in the Hokage office after the meeting. The more I think about it, the more Hefeng feels a kind of hand-picked feeling. I understand. Hefeng looked around and looked at the patriarchs gathered here. The real intention of the door is to tell everyone. Starting today, the breeze will be the next heir to Naruto. At the same time, Feijian also tested the attitudes of the major families. Advertisement. Of course, this is only Hefeng's personal opinion. As for the truth, Hefeng is not known. Maybe all of this is just a coincidence. But no matter how you say it, the matter of promotion and forbearance is already settled. The patriarchs of the big families present were like dark clouds and stormy seas in their hearts. Can't calm down at all. What is the concept of being promoted to a special ninja at the age of only 7? Unprecedented. Even they feel that Hefeng's achievements today are very likely to be in the future, and there will be no one to come. Especially the performance of the Japanese style. They thought that hearing such news would make Hefeng jump with excitement. Or it may be difficult to conceal their excitement. But who knows? He was more calm than he thought. He didn't act like a 7-year-old kid at all. His unhurried expression seemed to say, "What's so exciting about this? Isn't it just a special kind of forbearance?" Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. With his current strength, not to mention being particularly shinobi, even shinobu is not a problem. 1. Especially shinobu who is only 7 years old. Presumably this incident will definitely make a sensation among all the ninjas in Konoha village. In this way, the matter came to an end with the official order and the wind to be particularly forbearance. It's just that the hearts of these patriarchs can't subdue the shock to the wind. Especially the patriarch of the Uchiha clan. There is no harm without comparison. Uchiha Setsuna, who had been given high hopes by him, was eliminated by the Hefeng Sekal in the first round of the Nakanin selection examination. And his achievements, no one in Uchiha can match him. Is it true that you can only join the Thousand Hands clan? Patriarch Uchiha thought of marriage again. After the meeting, the patriarchs of the major families left the Hokage building and returned to their residences. On the way, several patriarchs couldn't help but get together to discuss the future of Hefeng. In their view, Hefeng was promoted to special shinobu at only 7 years old. Then his achievements can never be of this level. The most important thing is that Hefeng's several records are indeed amazing. I heard the little devil from Sun Zan say that when Hefeng performed his mission for the first time, he ran into the magnetic escape ninja, Troy from Union Village. Advertisement. Patriarch Sarutobi told what he knew. At that time, Hefeng could not use Mu Dun, and defeated Troy with one move towards the peacock. And the other party, but the ninja of the blood succession boundary. Even for Shangren, the owner of the blood succession boundary is a very tricky enemy. As a result, Hefeng has just emerged, and defeated such a terrifying opponent. Yes, the patriarch of Jikyun agreed, even our family's Danzo lost to Hefeng. I go to bed recently, and sometimes I call the name of Japanese style. That kid in Danzo, you know, his talent is very high, he is undoubtedly the genius of our family. As a result, I still lost to Hefeng. When I first heard about this, the chief Jikyun was also incredible. But after he repeatedly confirmed, he can only believe this fact. There is also the Nakanobu selection test, the battle between him and Shinobu. Patriarch Hyuga intervened in the conversation, it's not like two shamanen fighting. In the eyes of these patriarchs, even if they don't know how to use Mudun's wind, talent and strength are enough to describe it as a monster. Now Mudun is awakened again. It means that his strength has undergone earth-shaking changes. Because of this, they felt that there was nothing wrong with letting the Japanese wind act as a special kind of forbearance. It doesn't matter whether he is the grandson between the pillars or not. However, from this point of view, the Japanese style should have been cultivated by Master Shwema as the future Hokage. Suddenly, the Sarutobi family broke this incident. In his opinion, anyone who has a bit of a brain can see the high hopes that he has given to him. Presumably, under the exercise of Master Phaegian, the gentle breeze is likely to become the youngest Naruto in history. You said, Hefeng, shouldn't he become Hokage when he is less than 20 years old? Patriarch Hyuga jokingly said that he doesn't care about who will be Hokage. As long as you can live in a peaceful village, it is already a good thing. In the previous warring states period, they racked their brains in order to protect their people. With great difficulty, he developed a seal technique called bird in cage to protect the family. However, when he said this sentence in a joking tone, he found it surprisingly. Everyone's expressions are all very serious. As if Hokage, who is less than 20 years old, is not unrealistic. Chapter 108 Day Cut. Compare it with my grandson. Advertisement. So far, all plans have been carried out in an orderly manner and are perfect. Especially the performance of the Japanese style. Every time I exceed my expectations. As the actual power holder of Konoha Hidden Village, I can't imagine the reason for rejecting Hefeng to inherit the next generation of Hokage. On the contrary, I can't find a seed that is more suitable for inheriting Hokage than Hefeng. Sarutobi recut. Shimura Danzo. Whether it is brain, ability, or anything else, there is a gap between them and the wind. Moreover, this gap cannot be made up by hard training and hard work. The key is, the Chinsho clan is undoubtedly the largest clan in Muyein village. Although he is only 7 years old now, he is waiting for him to grow up. Every member of the Thousand Hands clan will support him as the patriarch. This is the political resource he has had since he was born. In the meeting just now, the heads of the major families were tested. When he said that Hefeng now had the news of Mudun, the reaction of each patriarch was enormous. Sarutobi, Shimura, Hyuga. Naturally, he is a fan of the Japanese style. In other words, they are, at least on the surface, clusters. Only the Uchiha clan have a subtle view of the Japanese style. But this is not difficult to understand. During the Warring States period, Senju and Uchiha were rivals. Although Madara and Big Brother put aside their family hatred and established Shinobu village, these people have always wanted to rise to the top of Konoha. Jien stood in front of the window of Hokage's office, muttering to himself while admiring Konoha's face. Analyzing the current situation, at the same time thinking about countermeasures, how to prevent the appearance of the next spot. However, at this moment, there was a rhythmic knock on the door of Hokage's office. Pull the door from his thoughts back to the real world. Come in. For the time being, leaving the Uchiha family's affairs behind him, he turned and walked back to his seat and sat down calmly. The door of the office was slowly opened. The person who greets you is not someone else. It's just his elder brother's grandson between the pillars. Zephyr. Advertisement. He is also an excellent ninja who has just been promoted to a special ninja. Although the general special strength of Shangren is lower than that of Shangren. But in some areas, especially Shangren has an unattainable position for Zongren. Such as education, research and development, espionage, interrogation, assassination, etc. Often requires special skills to be competent. Master Shujian. He whined 3 steps and 2 steps to the front of the door, looking forward to the content of the next task. Hefeng, what do you think of Sarutobi Hizen, Uchiha Mirror? Feijian did not directly delegate the task to Hefeng, but squeezed his elbows on the desk, leaning forward slightly, asking Hefeng what he thinks of these people. In any case, he has performed tasks with these 2 individuals. Have had contact. Moreover, the identities of these 2 people are also extraordinary. Mirror is the genius of the Uchiha clan who opened the writing wheel, and has always been given high hopes. Both the mind and the strength are outstanding. Even many people think that one day he can surpass the powerful Uchiha Madara. Among them, the most admired place is. Although Kagami is a member of the Uchiha clan, his vision is very high, and he is willing to go beyond the limitations of the family and work hard for the development of the village. Based on these relationships, Jien will focus on training him. If possible, I hope he can become the patriarch of the Uchiha clan in the future. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Cultivate more people like him. Unfortunately, follow the normal development. Uchiha Kiya did not respond to the expectation in the interim. At the age of 25, he died young. He did not become the patriarch of the Uchiha clan. Although Kishimoto didn't mention the cause of Kagami's death, from Kazuka's point of view, most of his death has nothing to do with the struggle for power. With Uchiha's character, how could they allow someone who supports the inter-ministerial policy to lead the whole clan? As for Sarutobi Hizen, not to mention it. Before the emergence of Hefeng, he had always been the most respected disciple in the room. The father is a famous ninja. Sasuke Sarutobi. Looking at the entire ninja world, they are all household names. Behind it is the family of the elders at the beginning of the establishment of Konoha Yin village. Regardless of his background or political resources, Sarutobi Hizen is quite outstanding. In addition, he has plenty of chakras himself, and he is proficient in 5 kinds of escape techniques. Feng believes that he is fully qualified to serve as the 3rd generation of Naruto. In fact, Sarutobi Hizen, originally as the 3rd generation of Hokage, pushed Konoha Hidden Village to its heyday. If it is not for the gentle breeze to cross over, all of this will slowly flow forward along with the historical process that should have been. However, compared with today's Japanese style, Sarutobi Hizen's advantages in all aspects are not so dazzling. Advertisement. On birth, his father was indeed a famous ninja, Sarutobi Sasuke. But the gentle grandfather is the god of ninjas who calms the troubled times, Senjujiyama. On the amount of chakra. If Sarutobi Hizen is a rushing river, then the breeze is undoubtedly the endless sea. On family support, it is indeed the elder family who established Konoha behind Risen. But behind the wind is the famous Sen no Sho. Do not. It's not just Sen no Chisho. There will be the support of the Whirlpool clan. After all, the gentle grandma is the princess of the Whirlpool clan. It's ugly. Sarutobi Hitoshi, compare his head with the wind. However, since I asked this question, it shows that he has his own considerations and intentions. So he pretended to be contemplative. He didn't act like a 7-year-old kid at all. More like a thoughtful ninja. I think Uchiha Mirror is a very powerful ninja, not only opened the writing wheel, but also has a high level of mental consciousness. I have been in contact with him at the border post for more than a month, as can be seen from his conversation. He has the pride of being the Uchiha clan, but he also takes pictures of the village everywhere. I am very pleased to have such a person as my subordinate. Hefeng answered with a serious face. And the central idea of these words is refined, and the real meaning is actually. I think the mirror is pretty good. Let him continue to be my subordinate. In any case, Hefeng is not a puppet at the mercy of others. He has his own ideas. Although he is not opposed to paving the way for himself, he always has a few of his cronies. Otherwise, when he becomes Hokage, no one can be trusted. How embarrassing is that? The mirror is a good candidate. At that time, he can also help him become the patriarch of the Uchiha clan. Turn the entire Uchiha into his own political force. It doesn't hurt. As for Sarutobi Hizen, when I first became Shionin, he helped me a lot and is a very good person. Chapter 109. Actually, I can be the captain or not. Advertisement. Although Sarutobi Hizen had left many black spots during his ruling period, like the death of a slack, Uchiha annihilated the clan. However, Sarutobi Hizen was still a good person in this period. At least, it's good for the current style. Answer all questions and be honest with others. Hefeng did not deliberately discredit Sun Slash. The real powerhouse is disdainful of discrediting opponents in order to achieve their own goals. On birth, on ability, on what everyone expects. He has to far surpass the current Sarutobi Hizen. If you deliberately discredit Sarutobi Hizen in front of Feng at this time, let's not talk about what Feng thinks. Hefeng himself will find him ugly to eat. So when I asked myself what I think of Sarutobi Hizen, Hefeng chose to tell the truth, and recounted his current views on Sarutobi Hizen. He nodded again and again, feeling that the gentle breeze was good. I didn't expect Hefeng to observe meticulously. Feng couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Although he has not been in contact with Hefeng for a long time, no matter how he looks at it, his thinking is not like a 7-year-old child. He has his own unique views and opinions on many things. Always point out the problem sharply. If it wasn't for the gentle breeze, I really doubted whether the person standing in front of him was just an adult who looked like a 7-year-old child. His appraisal of Hizen and Mirror is comparable to his own. Especially when it comes to mirrors. The wind can actually be used. He not only has the pride of being a Uchiha clan, but at the same time he can jump out of the limitations of the family and work hard for the village. To evaluate the mirror, this clearly means that Hefeng is also a person who can look beyond the limitations of the family and look at the village. The difference is, Uchiha's thoughts were in the ninja school and were affected. More or less, there is a relationship of self-direction. But the breeze, only 7 years old, it was to comprehend the relationship between the family and the village without being taught. This is a very rare thing. At the same time, this also strengthened Feng's determination. Hefeng is indeed the most suitable person to inherit Naruto. Even more suitable than myself. One day, under the leadership of Hefeng, Konoha Yin village will usher in its true heyday. I sighed like this. Of course, these are the thoughts in his mind. Advertisement. Did not speak out to tell Hefeng. In this case, Zefeng, I plan to set up a special ninja army. Ninja troops. Hefeng tilted his head, subconsciously muttering these words. Not bad. Feng explained to Hefeng. Actually, I meant it for a long time. I plan to select some of the 38 ninjas who graduated from the 4th ninja school to form this army. And this force is directly obedient to me. Hefeng suddenly realized when he said these words. If he guessed correctly, the person who pointed at me should be Sarutobi recut, Shimura Danzo, Uchiha Mirror, Turn to Bed Shaochun, Mito Menitus, and Autumn Roads Take the Wind. They are all very good ninjas. And in the future, except for Uchiha Kageme's untimely death, Akuto's whereabouts are unknown. The remaining 4 people all became Konoha seniors. And among these people, it is undoubtedly Sun Slash, and the mirror is the most special. After some analysis, he guessed. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Most of the time I want to join myself in this team. So far, the default members of this force are people you are familiar with. There was a slight pause in the title and began to say the names of these people. The result is the same as Hefeng guessed. It was Rizhin, Danzo, Shaochun, Shofeng, Mirror, and Yan. In the original plot, they themselves were the personal guards in the Fate, true disciples. Even the signing of a peace agreement with Lei Ying in Union Village is such a major event. They all chose to take a few of them. And in the pursuit of the Golden Horn and Silver Horn, Fujian appointed Rizhin as the 3rd generation of Hokage. It is not difficult to see the status of these ninjas in Fujian's mind. My original plan was to let Sarutobi Hitomi lead this team. Whether it is brain, responsibility, strength, or reaction, Nishin is the best among these ninjas. But, the conversation turned around. Your performance during this period really surprised me a bit. The tone of the door is very calm. However, these words made Hefeng want to laugh a little. Grandpa Fujian, are you sure, is it really appropriate to describe it as a little surprised? You were a little surprised before. I clearly saw that your jaw was about to fall to the ground. And your eyes that usually look like you can't open. Advertisement. The shocked ones are bigger than bull's eyes. Forget it. Still stop complaining. Anyway, you are my grandfather too. Let's save some face for you. Seeing Hefeng is just listening quietly, without interrupting myself. Continued in the interim. So I plan to let you join this team, and Sarutobi hits them, and continue to perform the task. But, because this ninja army is directly led by me, the tasks performed will be very difficult. The more difficult the task, the greater the contribution you will get. For the growth of Hefeng, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. After all, what I want is a new Naruto that can surpass the pillars. Not a puppet, not even a big embroidered pillow. So even if it is gilded, I hope Hefeng can pass the test of authenticity. S-level missions will only be commonplace in the future. If he doesn't even have this awareness, that would disappoint me too much. However, Zhangjian firmly believes that Hefeng will always let himself down when it comes to letting himself down. Because he is gentle, 1,000 hands and wind, even if the eldest brother hopes that people of the Sensho clan can intermarry with foreigners, slowly abandon the name Sensho. Completely integrate into the village. But some things cannot be changed after all. As long as the breeze raises one's arms, all the people of the 1,000 Hands clan will follow him. It's not impossible to join this force, but I have a problem. Hefeng opened his mouth slowly, and asked back towards the door. Oh, what's the problem? He looked up and down in the room, wondering what the 7-year-old kid in front of him was making. However, I don't hate the gentle breeze to bargain with myself. Even on the contrary, Hefeng is like this, the more excited he is. It's better than the kind of child who is submissive. Boys should be rebellious and have their own opinions and ideas. Otherwise, what great things can be achieved? You know, when I was a child, I often talked to my father. Father's kindness and filial piety. Okay, father is kind and filial. Should I join this ninja army as a captain, or as a member? If it is the latter, I hope that the decision-making power of this force can be handed over to me. Between the door. Chapter 110. In the future, Konoha's senior leaders will challenge me collectively. Advertisement. You really deserve it, Zephyr. The decision-making power of the entire ninja army is given to you. What is that not the captain? A captain who has no decision-making power, isn't that a puppet? For a time, there were a lot of slots in my heart. But it is undeniable that attitude towards the Japanese style. I appreciate it very much. As a strong person, this should be the attitude. This is not only a kind of confidence in one's own ability, but also a sense of responsibility. Although he is only 7 years old today, it only took him more than 2 months to be promoted to a genius with special tolerance. Do not. It's a monster. Especially for them. It is undoubtedly expected by everyone to have Hefeng as the captain of this force. But, Fujian does not intend to directly appoint Hefeng as the captain. On the one hand, he wanted to see the current strength of Hefeng. Use your own eyes to witness. On the other hand, he intends to let this unit experience firsthand how strong their captain is. In this case, it depends on whether you have this strength, gentle style. After a short silence, he said in the middle, Zefeng. Grandpa Fujian, are you serious? Do you really think that Sun Zan will be your opponent if you add them together? Especially after he awakened Mu Dun. Hefeng wanted to laugh a little. He is very strong now. What day cut? Danzo, Uchiha Mirror. Not enough to see all of them. Although you should be humble and recognize the gap between yourself and others in order to better set off on the road, but blindly belittle yourself, shrink back when things happen, and feel too inferior. It won't make people grow. True strong people should maintain reasonable self-confidence. If the day is qualified, I will naturally vote for him and let him be the captain of the army. But, no matter how you look at it, I am stronger than Sun Slash now. It should be. Do your part. Of course, these were all Hefeng's heartfelt words, and he didn't say it to him. In the real world, he just stood quietly in front of the door, waiting for his decision. So, I plan to arrange a test. Advertisement. It's up to you, face this ninja army. Said in a whisper. And this is the first task that Hefeng has to perform after being promoted to special shinobu. He was alone in the face of Sun Slash, Danzo, Xiaochun, Feng, Mirror, and Yan. These excellent ninjas. Although I know you beat Danzo before, this time is different. I have always trained a few of them in a small team. In other words, the tacit understanding and cooperation between them has reached its peak. So, you must not underestimate them. Jian explained to the breeze. He will tell Rizhen and others in advance about this test and give them plenty of time to prepare. Let them analyze Hefeng's abilities and weaknesses. To put it bluntly, it means to treat Hefeng as their enemy, analyze it carefully, and make full preparations. In fact, I have my own cautious thinking. These people are the high-quality seeds he selected from the ninja school after careful observation. Everyone was given high hopes and focused on training. It is no exaggeration to say that I feel that Yuri-zan and others are capable. Can fully assume the role of Konoha in the future. Now hand them over to Hefeng. In fact, there is the intention to form a rudimentary leadership team. In an ideal state, it is natural to let the Japanese style become Hokage, and then they will assist the Japanese style. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. In this way, we must let them know the excellence of Hefeng. The heart is surrendered. It's like assisting the eldest brother Zujian. Hefeng, I will give you 1 month to prepare. 1 month's time is enough for Sun Slash and their cooperation, tacit understanding, to further improve. And, you can also design a targeted plan based on your understanding of the wind. A month. Hefeng nodded slightly, then glanced at the clock in system. According to calculations, within a month, he can punch the card again. Earn rewards. Although Hefeng can guess, this month is not to prepare himself. Instead, let them prepare for the day. But, sorry. I can punch in. I'm really looking forward to it. The corner of Hefeng's mouth rose up, and a smile appeared. He can't wait to fight against Sun Zan and the others now. The future Konoha boss. Let you see my current strength. After an appointment with Fajian, Hefeng turned and left Hokage's office. Advertisement. Watching the wind, the little figure disappeared at the door. It took a deep breath. He seemed to have foreseen the picture a month later. After all, even the Golden Horn troops were defeated by Hefeng. Just relying on a few of them, no matter how good the cooperation is. Really, can you wrestle with the wind? Do I want to impose some restrictions on the Japanese style? For example, he is forbidden to use Bam and Dunjia. For a while, he fell into contemplation, until there was another knock on the door of the office. Come in. With the permission of the door, the office door was opened again. The person who came was not someone else, but a member of the new force set up in the interim. Sarutobi recut. Shimura Danzo. Uchiha Mirror. Autumn Road takes the wind. Turn to bed Xiaochun. Mito Menitus. At this moment, they walked in nervously, and then lined up. I don't know what happened to Master Fajian when he suddenly called them over. I plan to form a special ninja army to be directly led by me. I talked about my thoughts in the first 5 to 10. And this is undoubtedly a kind of honor for Rizhen and others. They felt unprecedented excitement in their hearts. But, suddenly the conversation changed. I plan to let Hefeng join this army, and I will be your captain. Future missions, all follow his command. As soon as this remark came out, the audience was in an uproar. In particular, Nijin and Danzo. They never dreamed that in a blink of an eye, they would become gentlemen. And, wait a minute, Master Fajian, Hefeng is still tolerant now, right? Danzo immediately exclaimed, is it wrong to let him be the captain? He is 7 years old. In fact, Danzo is talking about everyone's aspirations. In any case, Hefeng is just a 7-year-old kid. Moreover, he has just become Zongren. Lack of leadership experience, right? Don't worry, I just appointed Hefeng as a special forbearance. There was a slight pause in the door, however, since you question Hefeng's ability, then I will give you a chance. I will give you a month to become stronger, and then challenge the wind. Chapter 111. Why is the person in the mirror so handsome? Advertisement. Has the breeze become a special kind of forbearance? The news was like a bomb that shocked Sun Zan and others. Although they have long known that Hefeng is different, his growth rate has once again piqued their cognition. Hefeng, he's only 7 years old, right? Xiaochun stood there dumbfounded, and couldn't help asking people around him. Is it possible that something is wrong with my own perception? A 7-year-old special shinobu. Are their captain? Such news is really exaggerated. Even Xiaochun seriously doubted whether he was not awake. Or maybe Master Fajian made a joke with them. However, no matter how you look at it, Master Fajian has a serious face and a very serious tone. This is no joke. It's the fact. Even Master Fajian gave them a chance. An opportunity to challenge and win. If they win, it proves that Hefeng is indeed not qualified to be their captain. At that time, he will reappoint a captain to lead this ninja army. I feel that young Master Hefeng is completely capable. Leading this army does not require any challenge at all. Suddenly, Uchiha Mirror said his thoughts aloud. The people gathered around him are the geniuses of various families. Their strength should not be underestimated. But no matter how powerful it is, it can't change a fact. That is, they can't compare with Hefeng. Perhaps in the future, Sarutobi Hizen will become a more powerful ninja than the Golden Horn and Silver Horn. But now, his strength is much worse than Golden Horn. Not to mention others. Such a force, from the perspective of the mirror, is not an opponent of Hefeng at all. What's more, he was originally Hefeng's subordinate. After seeing that kind of leadership ability, mind, Jing has long been convinced by Hefeng. It is simply perfect for him to lead this ninja army. Other people's eyes focused on the mirror one after another, watching him with an incredible expression. Is this man in front of him really the genius of the Uchiha clan? He actually felt that Hefeng was the most suitable candidate. Even if he is only 7 years old. What happened on the border of the country of fire? Will make the mirror have such a big change. Of course, since there is an opportunity to challenge and win, I am not going to give up. Soon, Uchiha Koji added another sentence, and Shang Feijian expressed his determination. He will definitely use this month's time to work hard to train himself and improve his strength. Rizan and others looked at each other. In any case, they and Kagami are ninjas who graduated at the same time and spend the most time together. Advertisement. The best relationship. No one dares to underestimate the strength of Uchiha Mirror. But seeing his attitude inevitably made Rizan and others sigh with emotion. How strong is the current Japanese style? However, with what Jing said, I can't wait to fight Master Hefeng. Rizan took a deep breath and expressed his determination to Feijian. A month. It seems that I have to ask my father to help me improve my strength. In any case, I don't want to lose to Hefeng. In fact, it's not just the idea of killing one person every day. It's everyone's idea. No one wants to lose to Hefeng. Even if he is a shocking genius. A ninja as strong as a monster. A 7-year-old became a monster who was particularly ninja. They still don't want to lose to him. In particular. They face the peace together. The elite disciple cultivated by Master Feijian was defeated by a 7-year-old child. If it is spread out, it is really subtle, especially Danzo. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. When he said this in the interim, he couldn't help but see a scene of fighting with the wind in his mind. Until now, he still remembers the punch that Hefeng slapped. All vividly. It's that clear. That's true. Close your eyes a little, and you can clearly see Hefeng's fist. Moment. Danzo shivered involuntarily. He is the most and least wanting to fight again, he is the gentleman. Can you not participate? I have no opinion on who will be the captain. As long as, just don't fight with the wind. Even Danzo did not expect that Hefeng would leave him such a huge psychological shadow. But, looking at the eager companion around him. Even Xiaochun looked forward to wanting to fight against the wind. Danzo, I really can't say anything to refuse. Well. Watching everyone's reaction, I felt relieved. This is the seed in his ideal. Advertisement. Konoha, it will definitely be in your hands, towards the heyday. Feijian couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Then, they agreed on the time and place for their fight. And the next month, Sarutobi and others did not gather together for tactical training. Instead, they asked their family elders to help them improve. Although they felt incredible about the decision made by Feijian, the strength of Hefeng really should not be underestimated. They need stronger strength to face the breeze. As for the breeze, naturally, I don't spend my time on fishing. Today, he has the goal of becoming the 3rd generation of Hokage. Moreover, he still can't manage the Jingmun state very well. Therefore, Hefeng spends all this time on physical training, frantically improving his level. The only regret is that he soon ushered in his muscle limit. It seems that at this stage, I can only exercise my muscles to this extent. Damn it, if I can grow up to be 5 years old. In fact, Hefeng does not have high demands on itself. He feels that if he can have a 1.5 meter, he can increase his current strength 3 or 4 times. However, no matter how hard he eats, he hasn't grown tall during this time. For the first time, resentment for height. At any rate, the me who passed through before is also a handsome man of 1.83 meters. Hefeng sat in front of the mirror and sighed, worrying about his height. But, Hefeng's sight was quickly attracted by the person in the mirror. He looked at each other carefully. Although he is still young, his facial features are already very delicate. So hot. There was a moment of silence, and the wind couldn't help exclaiming. He has never seen such a handsome person. Fortunately, I have never attended a ninja school. Otherwise, Konoha's girls wouldn't be able to fight for me. Wait for this body to be a few years older. I'm afraid it's not. One party evildoer. Is it the youngest and most handsome Hokage ever? Unexpectedly, the 4th generation of Naruto Wave Fengshouman, one of the few advantages, was surpassed by myself. Forget it. Hefeng shook his head, ready to set off. Today is the day he takes over the challenge of Rizan and others. Yes, it is. The 1-month deadline is just around the corner. During this period, he punched in again. And gained the skill, Mu Dun Clone. Chapter 112 Bell Scramble. Advertisement. After getting ready, Hefeng came to the exercise site. Feijian, Rizan, Danzang, Mirror, Yan, Xiaochun, taking the wind, rushed here one after another. Everyone was 200% energetic. It is not difficult to see that they have made sufficient preparations for today. Although Hefeng had another check-in during this period, he did not get anything good from the check-in package. Only got one Mu Dun Clone. Close black lens bracket. For Rizan and others, this should be good news. The breeze has not been improved qualitatively. Of course, this kind of thing is impossible for people like Rizin to know. Hefeng, Rizan and others stood in 2 rows in a tacit understanding. Both sides are very clear in their hearts that the person standing in front of them is the opponent they will face next. Everyone is very nice. Looking at both sides, I couldn't help but sigh. Whether it is the wind, or the Daycut and others. They all acted very confidently. No one showed an expression of fear before the battle began. This is still very gratifying to Fagian. This shows that he did not misunderstand these high-quality seeds. So, just let me talk about the rules. As I spoke, I took out 2 bells from my arms. Bells. Rizan and the others tilted their heads, wondering why they suddenly took out 2 bells. On the contrary, it was a gentle breeze, and it suddenly dawned on me. Bell battle. This is undoubtedly the old tradition of Konoha village. I thought that this kind of actual combat exercise was invented by Sarutobi Hizen. Didn't I expect it to be the case? Hefeng whispered in his heart, without speaking. Not bad. Fagian nodded and explained. Sun Slash, your task is to snatch the bell from Hefeng's hand. As long as you can grab the bell, it's a victory. From Fagian's point of view, just relying on Rizin and others, want to defeat the current peace. It is basically impossible. You know, even the Golden Horn troops were planted in Hefeng's hands. And he also awakened Mu Dun. Even if they were given a month to Sun Slash, it was impossible for them to make a qualitative leap. It's a gentle breeze. His growth rate can be described as a monster. Learned the 8-door Dunjia at a glance. After that, it took just 3 months to be promoted to Special Shangren. This kind of talent is the most terrifying place. Advertisement. The ghost knows how much strength Hefeng has increased in this month. If the goal is to defeat, I am really worried. They will feel desperate. After much deliberation, this plan came to mind. To some extent, the difficulty can be reduced. So, he threw the bell to Hefeng, motioning him to tie it to his belt. Hefeng would naturally not refuse this. He caught the bell with one hand and loosened it easily. As long as you move a little, the bell will make a crisp sound. It sounds very pleasant, but Rizin and others stared at the bells of the wind. Because they also discovered this detail. As long as the gentle breeze moves slightly, the bell will ring. In other words, these 2 bells are equivalent to a plan to block out and hide the dark place from the wind. However, this does not mean that. Rizan's mouth took a deep breath and discovered the meaning behind the bell. In the eyes of Master Shujian, he thinks that only with such a balance mechanism can we win. For Rizin, this way of reducing the difficulty is a blow. The current Zephyr, how strong is it? Not long ago, he wasn't even a ninja, right? When carrying out the escort mission, he was still his subordinate. In a blink of an eye, it became that he wanted to challenge him. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. This growth rate has simply subverted his cognition. It looks like Master Fagian feels that if Hefeng hides in the dark and strikes at the same time, he can break us one by one. Let him carry the bell, which is equivalent to erasing a tactic that suits him. Uchiha Mirror told everyone his analysis. In other words, he hopes his companions can recognize it. Those 2 bells, the actual function, is protecting them. Bells. Danzo clenched his teeth and felt very complicated. Is it true that the blood of Lord between the pillars is really so terrifying? Hefeng is obviously only 7 years old, so strong that he needs all of them to face it together. Not only that, Lord Shuima also specially imposed restrictions on the Japanese style. In order to weaken his power and achieve a balance. However, just when everyone thought that the limitation of bells alone was already exaggerated. Once again, the words are amazing. In addition, I have to add a condition. Turning his head to look at the breeze. Obviously, the conditions in his mouth are specifically aimed at Hefeng. It is forbidden for you to use the 8 doors Dunjia and shadow clone art. As soon as this statement came out, the audience was in an uproar. Advertisement. In particular, Nijin and Danzo. His jaw was about to fall to the ground in shock. Did you hear me wrong? Master Shujian, it is forbidden to use the 8 doors Dunjia and shadow clone art in Japanese style. Isn't these 2 ninjutsus unique tricks? If these 2 ninjutsu are disabled, how can you fight them with the wind? And many more. Wrong. It's not like this. Rizan took a breath again, his eyes staring wider than Bull's eyes. Master Fagian means that even if the wind does not use the 8 doors Dunjia and shadow clone art, we are not his opponents. The nimble Sun Slash was the first to react. Then came Xiaochun, Yan, Mirror, and Take Feng. Danzo is the last. Gentle, are you only 7 years old this year? What kind of monster is he? Defeat them without using the 8 doors Dunjia, shadow clone art, and the restrictions of carrying bells. How is this kind of thing possible? It's too ridiculous. No problem. Hefeng nodded without hesitation. Since mastering Mu Dun, his dependence on Baman Dunjia has not been so great. Presumably, it was also because of this that this kind of restriction was proposed. He wanted to see how far he could use Mu Dun. Can understand. As for the shadow avatar technique, sorry, I have now learned the better Mu Dun clone. That kind of ninjutsu, forbidden to disable it, has no effect on me. Now that everyone is ready, then, he took a step back and announced the official start of the actual combat exercise. Whoosh, whoosh, Rizan and the others, instantly turned into a few black shadows, retreated towards the woods behind them, and disappeared. This exercise lasted 1 day and 1 night. As long as they can get the bell in Hefeng's hand within this time limit. Even if they win. On the contrary, if you all lose to Hefeng, then you should not have any complaints about Hefeng being the captain. Chapter 113 Hold on, we can win. Advertisement. As soon as the bell battle started, Sun Slash and the others quickly entered the woods and hid them. On the contrary, it was a gentle breeze, standing indifferently. The breeze seems passive, but in fact it is active. Now that the bell is in his hand, he doesn't need to find Sun Zan and others one by one. The only thing he needs to do is to wait patiently. Waiting for Rizan, they couldn't hold back their breath, and took the initiative to attack. Hefeng stands in place and has not moved yet. Uchiha Mirror observed through the riding wheel eyes. In his opinion, Hefeng's actions are very wise. With a bell tied to his body, he will make a sound if he moves a little. In other words, Hefeng wanted to approach them quietly. It is basically impossible. Going to find them in the woods will only waste your energy. Mirror, I have a plan. Rizan suddenly spoke. In this month's time, he not only trained himself, but also analyzed his style. There is no doubt that in terms of the amount of chakras, the gentle breeze occupies a great advantage. Even if he disabled his shadow clone technique, Bamindunjia, it would not change this. When Hefeng took the Zongnan exam, I happened to be the examiner. There is no doubt that it is not a realistic thing to want to win by fighting ninjutsu against the Japanese style. Rizan told everyone his point of view. Then what do you mean? Danzo frowned. Is it possible to fight against the wind? Even without Bamindunjia, he still has strange powers. In Danzo's view, this is also not a wise choice. Do not. Hearing this, Rizan shook his head decisively, and turned to Uchiha Mirror. Xiaochun, Yan, and Qfeng followed Sun Zan's line of sight and saw Jing's eyes. I see, you want to use illusion to decide the outcome. Jing suddenly realized. Rizan nodded slightly, indicating that it was indeed the case. Illusion is undoubtedly the area where the Uchiha clan is best. Once they look at each other, even for a moment, they can pull their opponent into the world of illusion. In this way, no matter how powerful the ninjutsu and physique of the gentle wind are, he couldn't resist either. Even if your illusion can only affect the gentle wind for a few seconds, it is enough for us to grab the bell. Rizan emphasized. Illusion is the most suitable tactic for them. At the same time, Rizan is also very fortunate. The rule of the Lord's arrangement is to grab the bell instead of defeating. Otherwise, Sun Slash is really unsure. Advertisement. However, Hefeng seems to have a good understanding of Shaolun Yan. Even Mirror felt that Sun Slash's plan was the most suitable tactic for them right now. But when he thought that the other party was a gentleman, Jing still felt a little guilty in his heart. When fighting with the Golden Horn forces at the border, Hefeng almost used his own riding wheel eyes as freely as his eyes. I am afraid, it will be very difficult to apply illusion to the wind. Mirror's tone was a little helpless. I think it's better not to have too much hope for your own illusion. Is it? After listening to what the Mirror said, Rizan nodded slightly. In short, we have 1 day and 1 night, so let's follow this tactic first. After saying that, Rizan straightened up from the ground, ready to act as a bait. Danzo, let's go. Xiaochun, Yan, and the wind, you are responsible for responding. Rizan began to divide the work for everyone. Since it is a bait, it is better not to have too many people. Other people naturally have no opinion. In any case, Rizan is the only shinobu among them. If there is no gentle breeze, the position of captain will most likely fall on the shoulders of the sun. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Moreover, his tactics are indeed impeccable. No one can think of a better solution. Uchiha Kasuki energized 200%, and stared at the wind with all his attention. Be prepared to release illusion at any time. But Xiaochun's mood is very complicated. She watched her partner. Everyone's expressions were serious and serious. Like an enemy. But, isn't their opponent a 7-year-old kid? Only 7 years old, it caused such a lot of pressure on them. Especially Hisaki and Uchiha Mirror. But they are all the geniuses of Sarutobi and Uchiha, right? As a result, they fought against the wind, How cautious. This kind of thing is like a fantasy. But just as Sarutobi Hazaki was about to walk out of the woods, he suddenly stopped, bit his thumb in one bite, and then made a seal with both hands. When he successfully made the last seal, his palm slammed to the ground. Bang! A cloud of white mist appeared in front of Sun Slash. Danzo couldn't help widening his eyes, looking at the center of the white mist in disbelief. Advertisement. The guy who greeted the eyes was an ape surrounded by tiger skins. Don't be nervous, Danzo, this is a psychic beast of our Sarutobi clan. Ape demon. And this psychic technique is the result of this month's training. Yo, Sarutobi. Tsurumo put his hands around his chest, and greeted Rizan. And Rizan directly stretched out his hand, indicating that the ape demon had become a King Kong wishful stick. Understand. Bang. The Saru demon's body quickly transformed into a long stick and flew into the hands of Rizan. At the same time, Tsuruma was also full of curiosity about this enemy. Only when he saw that the enemy appeared in front was a 7-year-old kid. The monkey demon suddenly suspected the monkey's life. Sun Zan channeled himself out, that is, to deal with a 7-year-old kid. What a joke. Does he know how strong he is? Hey, Sarutobi, are you serious? You want to use me to deal with a child? The Tsuruma couldn't help complaining, and couldn't understand the brain circuit of Rizan. A 7-year-old kid. Isn't it possible to subdue with hands? He even used spiritism to turn himself into a King Kong wishful stick. What a joke. Danzo. Risen couldn't take care of that much. He took a deep breath and condensed chakra to his throat while letting Danzo cooperate with him. Deal with the strong like Hefeng. They cannot be careless. Fire escape. The art of fire. Rizan used the fire escape ninjutsu passed down from generation to generation by the Sarutobi clan, spouting fierce flames from his mouth, and went straight to the breeze. The fire was violent. The range is extremely wide. In an instant, all the retreats of Hefeng were blocked. Danzo also took a deep breath and used the wind escape he was best at. Now, they are not the ninjas of Konoha Hidden Village, and they know how to use unique skills such as fit ninjutsu. A violent wind was released by Danzo and poured into the fierce flames of Sarutobi Rizong. In an instant, Sun Slash's fire escape power was increased 2 or 3 times. Watching the sky full of fire hit me, the gentle breeze did not evade, and his hands were sealed to deal with it. It's true Sarutobi Risen, who has such an amazing amount of chakra. After the gentle breeze, he transformed his chakra into a majestic water escape. Water escape waterfront wall. Chapter 114 Mom, I want to go home. Advertisement. Seeing that Sun Zan and Danzo cooperate with each other, using the augmentation effect of Wind Dunge and Fire Dunge to strengthen the art of Haoyan. The breeze quickly formed seals and defended with waterfront walls. The clear spring water surging from the foot of Hefeng, centered on him, forming a circle, soaring to the sky, instantly rising to 4 feet high, resisting the oncoming fierce flames. Ba, the location where water and fire intersect produces high-temperature steam, which rolls toward the sky. Hisaka and the others are not the 7th group. They will not fight each other to snatch the bell like Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. However, the only person who came out of the woods was Sun Slash, Danzo. If I hadn't guessed, they should have acted as bait. Hefeng began to analyze the situation. Although his strength completely overwhelmed Sun Slash and the others, they had a whole card that could be aimed at them. Uchiha Mirror. As a genius in the Uchiha clan, he has already opened his eyes on the writing wheel. Although it is not at the level of a kaleidoscope, it is still very easy to release illusion. At the border of the country of fire, the reason why the gentle breeze can restrain the golden horn is by relying on the illusion of the mirror. Even a ninja like golden horn can't resist the illusion of the mirror. It's hard to tell with my current body. After some analysis, Hefeng felt that the opponent would most likely want to use the mirror's tactics as the core of his tactics. Others cooperate with each other. Finally, the mirror drags himself into the world of illusion of writing round eyes. Even if the mirror's illusion can only delay a few seconds, it is enough for Sun Slash and the others to get the bell. From this perspective, the actions of Risen and Danzo are reasonable. They are bait. Thinking of this, Hefeng once again made seals and resorted to an offensive Shui Dun. Shui Dun Water Dragon Bomb. A puff of clear water gathered at the foot of the gentle wind, instantly swallowing him, twisting it upward, and transforming into the dragon's head of the Eastern Dragon, with red light from his eyes, opening his blood basin and his mouth, and heading straight to Sun Zan Danzang. It's a water dragon bomb. Rizan was the first to react, using the restraint effect of Earth Escape and using Earth Flow Wall for defense. However, who is Hefeng? He is a traverser. Regarding Nishin proficient in several kinds of chakras, they will be ninjutsu. Hefeng can be described as quite familiar. He almost predicted that Sun Zan would use the Earth Flow Wall as a defensive action when encountering a water dragon bomb. Therefore, he injected more chakras into this water dragon bomb, increasing its size and power several times. Oops, Rizan quickly realized, and quickly jumped to the rear. The result was the same as he thought. His Earth Flow Wall failed to block the water dragon bullet of Hefeng. Danzo, who reacted a little slower, was directly bitten by the water dragon bomb. Advertisement. Tons. A large amount of liquid rushed into Danzo's body, bringing him a painful suffocation. Rizan was even more frightened by this scene. I saw Hefeng use water escape before, but I was just amazed at the power of his water escape. Now that I have personally experienced it, I realized that the gentle water escape, it turned out to be so terrible. Rizan's mouth took a breath, he actually didn't want to. But the picture before me is really shocking. Logically speaking, the soil escape has a restraining effect on the water escape itself, and the defensive effect of the soil flow wall is quite excellent in the soil escape. As a result, in front of the water dragon bomb of the gentle breeze, his earth flow wall is like a dam of tofu construction. Was easily washed away. The water dragon is like a river running to the sea, unstoppable. Oops. Risen noticed the drowning Danzo. Wishful King Kong stick. In desperation, Risen had to extend the Rui diamond rod, slammed it towards Danzo, hitting his butt with one stick, relying on the strength of the Rui diamond rod. Pushed him out of the water dragon bomb. Thump. Danzo grabbed the ground with his head, lying on the ground embarrassedly, and rolled forward for a few laps before he could stop. Almost be killed by Japanese ninjutsu on the spot. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi ape. Sarutobi. The monkey demon who saw this scene in his eyes, the whole monkey felt his scalp numb. Could it be that what kind of illusion was hit? Sun Slash's opponent is just a 7-year-old kid, right? A 7-year-old kid can unleash such a terrifying water escape ninjutsu. This is too ridiculous. Does his chakra don't need money? Wrong. This can no longer be called chakra. But check it out. The monkey demon, who had just been disdainful of Hefeng, was directly shocked by Hefeng for a whole year. What kind of monster is this guy? Ape demon, you know now, why should I use spiritism? If you really treat Hefeng as an ordinary kid, I'm afraid you don't even know how to die. Rizan couldn't help but complain. And the mirror and others who observed this battle in the woods. They all stared straight. Is this really water escape? Advertisement. This is clearly high done. Isn't Hefeng only 7 years old? Why is chakra so amazing? Could this be? Is the super bloodline of the combination of the Chinsho clan and the Uzumaki clan? Mirror, I really trust you this time. Yan couldn't help but patted the shoulder of the mirror, as if saying, your illusion is almost our only hope. Don't miss it. However, Xiaochun's sight was deeply attracted by the gentle breeze. Whether it is brain, strength, or responsibility, the gentle style is impeccable. His facial features have inherited the beauty of the pillars, and blue is better than blue. If you grow up a few years old, that face alone will be enough to make a ninja not be a girl. Why, Hefeng cannot be born a few years earlier. If he is not 7 years old this year, but 17 years old. Then, don't worry, Xiaochun, we are not without the opportunity. Hefeng noticed Xiaochun's reaction and quickly comforted her. Indeed, the power of Japanese ninjutsu is amazing. But, the secret technique of my Autumn Dao clan is not vegetarian either. For today's actual combat, I have prepared a lot of ration pills. Xiaochun glanced at the wind, then nodded, and continued to observe the wind. Now, they need to wait for an opportunity. An excellent time for the mirror to activate illusion. Bang. However, at this moment, Hefeng kicked his feet, jumped up, jumped into the air, and then dived towards Sun Zan. The chakra between the pillars was condensed to the heel by the gentle wind, unreservedly releasing this power. Painful, the wind slashed with one foot, and fell in front of Sun Zan. The majestic power spread out in all directions, shattering the layers of the earth. Countless flying stones rolled to the side. Weird power. Rizan couldn't help exclaiming, thanking that he reacted quickly, and stepped back in time. Otherwise, Hefeng's foot hurts, I am afraid that he will not directly kill him. The monkey demon felt a blank in his brain. This guy in front of me is really 7 years old. Mom, I want to go home. Chapter 115 5 Escapes Dalian Art of Bullets. Advertisement. The ape demon's mentality collapsed. I was finally able to be psyched out by Sun Slash, and as a result I encountered the monster Hefeng. With 1 foot down, the flying rock rolled, huge cracks covered the ground, and the start was at least 8 feet in diameter. Is this really the power that human beings should have? If this is hit by a gentle breeze, I'm afraid it will not be killed on the spot. I always feel that the strange power of the wind is more terrifying than before. Rizan lowered his head and glanced at the power of Hefeng Tianjiao. This was just the normal state of Hefeng. If he opens the 8-door Dunjia again, the power will only be greater. Ape Demon. Worried that the breeze would chase him up, Rizan decisively extended the Rui diamond rod, pressed it against the broken stones, and pushed himself out. It's worthy of Sun Slash, the movements are clean and neat, and the thinking is clear. Hefeng couldn't help complimenting him when he saw Sun Slash distanced from him. If you change to Danzo, you can solve one with a single blow. Danzo, don't be stunned. Rizan waved the wishful diamond rod to remind Danzo that the battle was still going on, and at the same time embraced the diamond rod turned into by the Sape Demon in both hands, and extended it forward as it flew out. Bang! Hefeng single-handedly caught the diamond rod that came over, bursting out an air of fear, spreading out to the surroundings. Soon, Hefeng stretched out his other hand, grabbed the diamond rod of Sun Zan, and slammed him into the air with a strong pick. Oops. In a panic, Rizan immediately relieved the ape demon's transformation technique and restored him to become an ape. Immediately afterwards, Rizan took out 3 shurikens and threw them towards Hefeng together. The technique of multiple shuriken shadow clones. The black shuriken seems to keep splitting. From 3 at the beginning, it has changed into 6, 12, 24. In the blink of an eye, all over the sky, like a gust of wind and rain. Overwhelmingly headed towards the gentle wind. For a time, the bell battle became like a one-on-one duel between Sun Slash and Hefeng. When did Sun Slash become so strong? Tuan Zhang stared at the sky blankly, with incredible writing on his face. Today's Sun Slash, there is a back and forth with the gentle breeze that kills himself in a flash. As this guy's strength surpassing me. In fact, it is not just Danzo. Mirror, Yan, Xiaochun, take the wind. And in the beginning, never thought that Rizan's strength would be so strong. However, this also puts a psychological burden on the mirror. Follow their tactics. Rizan is just a bait, and his own writing wheel is the core of the tactics. In other words, I have to rush out at the most suitable time to perform illusions. It's not over yet. Rizan suddenly roared. Although Hefeng is only 7 years old this year, he still considers his strength. Advertisement. Rizan didn't dare to be careless. Even the technique of multiple shuriken shadow clones. It may not be able to beat the wind. Therefore, when he threw the shuriken, Sun Zan continued to seal the seal. Shadow clone technique. Bang, 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 bang. 4 groups of white mist exploded beside Sun Slash, and in each group of white fog, a Sun Slash was born. At the same time, they stretched out their feet and stepped on the soles of their other feet. With a perfect coordination, dive into the ground. 5 Sarutobi Sun Slashes, each guarding one position, form a pentagon. Above, there is an overwhelming shuriken. Don't give the breeze a chance to escape. Although I am just a decoy for this tactic, but I came here with the mentality that I would rather be jade broken than be complete. Accompanied by a loud roar. The 5 Sarutobi Risen seal at the same time. And every Sarutobi Rishi has a different seal. Finally at the same time, release their respective ninjutsu. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi 5 escapes Dalian bullet technique. Wind, fire, thunder, water, soil. The 5 attributes of ninjutsu flocked to the wind at the same time. She stood there in a daze, and was stunned by the scene in front of her. Sarutobi Hizen, this guy is able to perform such a powerful ninjutsu. The entity clones summoned by the shadow clones cooperate with each other to enhance the power of ninjutsu. It's amazing. Gentle style. How do you deal with the next you? Fei Jian stared at the wind intently. The battle for bells far exceeded the expected effect of the interfaith. Yes, these people are all their proud disciples. It's just that the light of the wind is too dazzling, that's why the sun and others appear dim. But actually, they are all talented ninjas of Konoha Hidden Village. It is a high-quality seed that has been selected by itself from the very beginning. As a disciple trained in the future of Konoha Hidden Village. Themselves. He is a strong ninja. Sarutobi Sun Slash. Facing the 5 kinds of ninjutsu and the overwhelming shurikens, the corners of his mouth rose, and a smile appeared. Advertisement. Gentle. Laughed. Huh. The 5 Sarutobi Risen frowned instantly, never expected that in this situation. Gentle. You can still laugh out of it. Your talent is indeed very strong, whether it is chakra volume or mastery of the 5 escapes, they are all excellent. If there is no me, the future of Hokage must be you. While talking, the gentle breeze patted his hands, and the majestic chakra went deep into the earth. If it is not sign in, get the wood escape. The current self is really not necessarily able to beat Sarutobi Rishi, unfortunately. The current self, but can't escape. I saw. The ground at the foot of the gentle breeze cracked, and a vine emerged from the gap, growing like crazy, becoming thick and big, and its appearance changed. Mu Dun Wood Dragon Technique. Whoops. A dragon roar rushed into the sky. Soon, Mulong twisted his body, twisted towards the breeze, entwined in a spiral, enclosing him inside. Whether it is an overwhelming shuriken, or Sarutobi's Dalian bullet technique. All blasted on Mulong. The 5 escape chakras influence each other and produce a violent explosion. The sound was deafening and spread to the surroundings. Followed by the air of fear, it slapped the surrounding woods, blowing down countless leaves. Amazing power. Sun cut you. Tuan Zhang slumped on the ground, blinking his eyes in disbelief. For a long time, he felt that Sun Zan was as strong as his own. But now, Ri Zan has mastered such a terrifying ninjutsu. This is impossible. Danzo shook his head desperately, unable to accept this fact. On the other side, Sun Zan was equally shocked. The technique of 5 escapes in Dalian is the result of his practice this month. It is a ninjutsu that cooperates with shadow clones. The consumption of chakra is extremely terrifying. However, this self-confident ninjutsu, unexpectedly. He was completely resisted by Hefeng's escape. The smoke from the explosion spread towards the surroundings. Although the wooden dragon made by Hefeng was mostly damaged, Hefeng was unharmed. He jumped up and landed on the dragon's head. But at this moment, Uchiha Mirror suddenly rushed out, his eyes turned, and he started an illusion technique toward Hefeng. Chapter 116 Shelf Testimonials. Advertisement. My dear friend, Mu Meng Roar. After a 2-month free period, this book is finally on the shelves. To be honest, this book was not written smoothly. Where this book was conceived, the 8-year-old stock was popular everywhere. When chatting with a friend, a word came out casually. I, the grandson of the pillars, 8-year-old Konoha Hokage. At that time, my friend's eyes lit up and said that if I write this out, it might explode. Coupled with the fact that Faceless Giant's book was on the shelves at the time, it was the book that was related to him. After brainstorming, there is this book. To be honest, I'm pretty hilarious when I write it myself. Because of the story of Hokage, from the establishment of Konoha to the final seal of Kagaya, almost everything and every regret happened around Hokage. For example, the death of Jien, the death of 4 generations. Uchiha Knight of the clan and so on. Although I don't know, why do you think I haven't seen Naruto, but when I was in the 4th grade of elementary school, I was chasing Hokage. At that time, I was going to school, far away from home, and I had to go to lunch nursery for lunch. Because there are so many children, the rice cooker worried that we were too noisy, so she showed us anime. Then it was Naruto. In the beginning, I didn't feel it. I was following the trend. Boys liked to watch it. I was forced to watch Hokage. As a result, I looked at it and found, ah, Sasuke is so handsome. Ah, Kakashi is so attractive, Gaara is so cool. Then I went into the pit, then intermittently, and I finished watching it all the way. Hokage's comics and some figures are also included in the family. I, Tutu, have seen Hokage. There is also Tsunade's setting, which has the most tears. There is no son, only a daughter. Tsunade is the granddaughter of Zuma, not a granddaughter. The reason is that Tsunade is not surnamed Senju. But whether it is anime or manga, Tsunade said that she was the granddaughter of Zujian, and Guan Zujian called grandpa. Secondly, Kishimoto never said that there is only one daughter between the pillars. Advertisement. Actually, I think, Kishimoto really didn't think so much. The strongest Fenkage in history, he didn't even think about a name. From this point of view, I think Kishimoto is actually a very casual person with names. However, one of the up hosts I followed at Station B is called Siji Bud. His content is very detailed, at least well-founded, and logically self-consistent. The setting of this book is based on his analysis. In order to give everyone a sense of belonging to the village, Zujian encouraged Shinsho to intermarry with foreigners, and let the descendants abandon the name of Shinsho. The purpose is to eliminate family estrangement. Interested friends can go to Station B to search. Let's talk about the book. To be honest, the development of this book did not go smoothly. After testing the water, the editor helped me report the strong points. As a result, because of not enough follow-up reading, the score did not go up, and he ran naked for a week. At that time, the whole person's mentality collapsed. Begin to reflect on whether the procrastination written earlier. Is it because the timeline was pulled too early to bring dirt? Mizuman, Naruto, and Sasuke, these people can't get out for a while. In addition, the free period cannot be changed. So everyone didn't have the patience to watch it. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. To be honest, it was really a step away from the cut at that time. Tutu is full-time and has no income other than writing books. In addition, when the new year is approaching, heating bills are messy, and everything costs money. At that time, I really wanted to pick up a gun essay with 10,000 words and pass the year. But after thinking about it, I gave up and decided to write it down. In the first place, I felt that this mentality of cutting without results was wrong. Secondly, Tokyo has always been my pain. At that time, I thought it would be easy if I cut Tokyo. As a result, I felt guilty. I picked up Tokyo in the middle, but it was broken for too long, and how to write the plot was awkward. After thinking about it, stick to this book. However, my friend gave me an opinion at the time. Or, speed up the timeline, like a faceless relationship household, directly fast forward 18 years, and pick up the official plot. Or, open a copy and walk through the heavens and worlds. Bring back the sense of expectation. However, if it is really written that way, then the original intention of this book will be lost. What I want to write is that the protagonist travels to the beginning of Konoha to make up for all the regretful stories. I really thought about it for a long time, and decided to write it down according to my original idea. Thanks to the editor, I have never given up on me. After another test, I barely touched the passing line and got a strong score. Advertisement. After that, I reported to Sanjong twice, but I didn't even go up. For the last total, I decided to put it on the shelves tomorrow to see the results. The good news is that after the release, there will be no word limit for the update, and it can be a little more at that time. If there is no accident tomorrow, there should be 10 more changes. Then guarantee the bottom 5, and add more depending on the situation. I wanted to make a bold statement, so I just said 10 more. But recently the Chinese New Year is approaching, and there are a lot of things at home, and the health is not good, so let's make sure of the 5. As for the miserable sale, forget it after thinking about it. After all, now I am doing my favorite things and writing my favorite stories. Last book rose to LV4. In a sense, it's already a reward for one's work. If even this feels miserable, I think, this world doesn't welcome me. After all, my life now is really happy. There are goals every day. Write your favorite story. If it's okay, go to Zihu and brag about it. And you have been with me and support me. I am really happy. Please beg for the first order. When it's on the shelves tomorrow, click to subscribe and support it. As for the Tokyo book, I am now redrawing the outline, intending to abandon the background of Tokyo and create a parallel universe. When I finish writing the story of the 8-year-old Hokage, I will republish that book. Friends who like that story also hope to wait patiently. By the way, a group was established. 659-986-566. You can come to the group to remind you more. Last of the last. Click. Hands together. I met you. I am lucky for 3 lives. Chapter 117. It's on the mirror. The mirror was second. One more, please. First order. Advertisement. It's now. Uchiha Kami rushed out of the woods where he was hiding. In his opinion, this is undoubtedly an excellent opportunity. He took out his shurikens and threw them all at once, blocking all the retreat routes of Hefeng. Coming. Rizan instantly became nervous. Uchiha Kami's riding wheel eyes are the core of their tactics. As long as he can use the illusion technique on Hefeng, he will control it, even if it only has 2 or 3 seconds, it will be enough for them to obtain the bell. Danzo. Inflammation. Take the wind. Shaochun. All of them held their breath at this moment, staring at Uchiha Mirror intently. There is no doubt that at this moment, Uchiha Mirror is the hope of their team. If it's a mirror, you can definitely deal with the gentle wind. Taking the wind, clenching his fists, cheering for Uchiha Kika in his heart. Through the battle of sun slash and the wind. Make them visible to the naked eye. The breeze is very strong. Very strong. So intrepid Sarutobi Hizen even used the terrifying ninjutsu such as the 5 escaped Dalian bullets, but he couldn't beat the wind. The lifelike wooden dragon technique. It caused a great shock to their hearts. So even if they didn't fight against the wind, their hearts trembled. It is hard to believe that their opponent is just a 7-year-old kid. Hefeng's strength has at least reached the level of Shinin. Yan stared at Hefeng firmly, thinking to himself. I thought that as long as they joined forces, no matter how genius Hefeng was, it would not be invincible. Result. They still underestimated his age. He is a monster at all. Extremely terrifying monster. Even the strength displayed by Hefeng has caused a serious psychological shadow on Danzo, and even his movements have become sluggish. If this is a fight on the battlefield, not an actual combat exercise for bells. Then, Hefeng's strength will definitely make them fall into deep despair. This is still, Master Shunjian forbids the use of the 8 Doors Dunjia and Shadow Clone art. Danzo rolled his throat, unimaginable. What kind of situation would it look like if Master Phaegian didn't restrict the gentleness? Just when everyone's mind is full of emotions. Uchiha Kami stared at Hefeng with his riding wheel eyes, his face was serious and his eyes were sharp. He knew it very well. Opportunity. Only one time. Gentle style, even though you are strong. Advertisement. But you still have weaknesses, and this weakness is the illusion of the Uchiha clan. The mirror roared towards the wind, and the two riding wheels began to spin. Hefeng looked into the mirror subconsciously. The two looked at each other at this moment. Uchiha mirror unreservedly activated what can be used at this stage. The most serious, the most powerful, the most terrifying super illusion. Unreservedly display the ability of riding round eyes to the fullest. Although Hefeng is only 7 years old. But the mirror did not dare to be careless. Actually, in the eyes of the mirror, Hefeng is not a kid at all. Or, this Nima is a 7-year-old child, whose 7-year-old can calmly seal the silver horn. Then he rubbed the golden horn of the incarnation tail beast on the ground. He also easily defended the 5 escapes of the Sun Slash and the Dalian bombing technique. Is this what a normal 7-year-old child can do? How can it be? If I use the mentality of treating ordinary 7-year-olds to challenge the genius Hefeng, I am afraid I don't even know how I died. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. There is no doubt that Hefeng is very powerful. Uchiha Mirror's mentality changed rapidly. Obviously he rushed towards the breeze. Obviously he wants to use illusions on Hefeng. But he is getting closer and closer to the wind, but he feels an unprecedented sense of oppression. Even facing the golden horn and silver horn, it cannot be compared with the current Japanese style. Even Uchiha Kami felt a little weird. He clearly saw that Hefeng's gaze responded to his gaze. But he was not at all nervous. On the contrary, Hefeng also raised the corners of his mouth, showing a slight smile. Is it possible that the gentle breeze in front of him is his clone? Such thoughts popped up in Jing's mind, making him hesitate. But he quickly rejected the idea that the breeze in front of him was a clone. Master Shuima banned the shadow avatar of the Japanese style. The chakra of the water body is only 1/10 of the body. In other words, the physical clone created by the water body can't fool one's own riding round eyes and Sun Slash's perception ability. Could it be that Hefeng predicted my prediction of his prediction? Thinking that this would make me think that I was a clone, instead of launching illusions. Even Uchiha Mirror was surprised that when facing the breeze, he would have so many psychological activities. Really, Hefeng this guy, advertisement, unfathomable. Suck, call. Uchiha Mirror took a deep breath quickly, and then threw these messy thoughts out of his mind. By now, he has no retreat. Illusion, launch. I saw Uchiha's pupil shrink, releasing the illusion of riding round eyes. The gentle breeze did not evade, facing the mirror's gaze, he ate the illusion abruptly. His eyes became dull, lost his original light, and stood stupidly in place. Uchiha Mirror landed on Yulong's nose. Atmosphere instantly became tense. Sheng, was it successful? Rizan and others stared at Hefeng and Mirror with their eyes widened. Although this tactic is the safest one in their eyes, but at this point, they felt incredible. Gentle, in the illusion. Successful. Uchiha Koji breathed heavily, and he never dreamed that facing the Japanese wind would have such a great sense of oppression. He was sweating profusely, and his back was wet. However, out of worries that Hefeng would relieve the illusion on its own, Uchiha Kami quickly stepped forward, stretched out his 5 fingers, and grabbed it toward the bell. Everyone's nerves all became tense at this moment. Especially the mirror. Until now, he couldn't believe it was true. Jingle. The mirror's fingers quickly touched the bell, and the sound seemed to be the most pleasing sound in the world. Next second, the bell stopped abruptly, and the bell caught by the mirror suddenly turned into wood. At the same time, this change spreads across the whole body of Hefeng. When the mirror reacted, it turned into a wooden breeze, which firmly bound his arm and prevented him from escaping. This is. Mirror suddenly widened his eyes. Mu Dun clone. The real breeze jumped up from under the wooden dragon, and his 5 fingers clenched his fists, condensing the majestic chakra onto it. I have to say, your tactical design is very beautiful. But it's a pity that your riding round eyes didn't see my prediction of your prediction. The language is complete. A Japanese cherry blossom hits the Uchiha Mirror. I'm afraid the power exploded. In an instant, the Uchiha Mirror blasted away. Kill on the spot. Chapter 118. One person facing the future Konoha high level, 2 more, please first order. Advertisement. See Uchiha Kami being bound by his own Mu Dun clone. Hefeng decisively jumped out from under the wooden dragon. He aimed at Uchiha Mirror's chest. Without hesitation. Without hesitation. Condensed chakra on his fist, burst out strange power, and blasted towards the mirror in front of him. In any case, Kagami is the ninja who is best at illusion and possesses the strongest illusion in this team. He is the only one who can threaten his existence. Because he didn't even know whether he was immune to illusion. For safety reasons, he first tricked the mirror to hand over the illusion, and then used Sakura Chong. Boom. A loud noise exploded between the two, followed by a terrifying air current, instantly destroying Hefeng's Mu Dun clone. And the Uchiha Mirror, who was in the middle of Sakura Chong, felt a huge force pouring into his body, as if it had shattered all the bones of his body. Make Uchiha Kami no time to hum. Fainted on the spot. The strange power of the wind is so terrifying now. Soon, Uchiha Kami's body freed from the shackles of Mu Dun's identity and flew backwards, like a kite with a broken wire, hitting the ground uncontrollably. There was a muffled sound. And Uchiha Kami's body slid forward for a certain distance, and finally stopped. Not moving at all. Recut. Danzo, Xiaochun, Yan, take the wind. All eyes fell on the mirror. The expression of excitement just now because the mirror caught the bell suddenly disappeared without a trace. Instead, there was a gaze full of extreme shock and dullness, looking at the fallen mirror. The audience was silent. Even the scene is quiet, everyone can hear their own heartbeat. Bang bang speed up. The illusion that carries everyone's hope. That's all. Shattered. Uchiha is on the mirror. Then, Uchiha mirror was second. Yes it is. As a result of their engrossed attention, they saw Uchiha Kami being beaten with a punch by the wind. He didn't even have time to hum. They never thought of what happened to the mirror. At the same time, my heart was shocked again. Original. Advertisement. Has the strength of Hefeng become so strong? A few months ago, he hadn't received any training, right? For the best Uchiha mirror among them. Before and after the process, even 10 seconds are useless. In the woods, Xiaochun looked at the mirror lying on the ground blankly, and couldn't help but ask Yan on the side, Yan. I just read it wrong. The one who flew out just now, is it a mirror? Was he killed by the wind, with a punch? Xiaochun dilated her pupils, and until now, she couldn't accept this fact. That mirror hailed as a genius boy from the Uchiha clan. Actually, he didn't even catch a punch of the wind. One face, I was blown away by the breeze. Incredible. Incredible. No matter how genius Hefeng is, he won't end the fight with one punch, right? How far is his current strength from them? The hope that finally ignited, instantly. Shattered by the tender fists of the Japanese style. In fact, it's not just Xiaochun who was so shocked. The inflammation and the wind beside her did not get there. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Maybe, we didn't have much hope from the beginning. Yan couldn't help but smile bitterly. His mood at this time completely fell into the bottom, looking at Hefeng with despair. He really couldn't imagine how to snatch the bell from that monster. In terms of strength, Jing is much better than himself and Xiaochun. At the same time, he also possesses such a powerful blood succession boundary as Shaolun Yan. As a result, when facing the breeze, the mirror couldn't stop even a single move. This makes them, how to snatch the bell. There is no hope. At this moment, Yan even wanted to give up directly. Because, this is so desperate. Hey, mirror, are you still alive? After a long time, Rizan rolled his throat, swallowed, and tremblingly asked the mirror. At this moment, Rizan was not worried about whether there was anything wrong with the mirror. It's whether he is still alive. Seeing that the mirror did not respond for a long time, Rizan cautiously approached the opponent and squatted down to check his body. Several ribs were broken. Although Rizan had done a good job of psychological construction to deal with a strong man as early as a month ago, he did not expect that the fellow Hefeng was far beyond what he could prepare for. He even felt that Hefeng was already merciful. Otherwise, if the power of the breeze is greater, it is likely to shock the organs of the mirror. By that time, advertisement. Will the mirror survive? Asterisk at carat asterisk dollar asterisk carat. It's really hard to say. Feng, is he really only 7 years old? It's too strong. Rizan shook his head helplessly. I mastered such an amazing power at the age of 7. Do we really have a chance of winning? At this moment, even Sun Zan, who had always been confident, began to doubt himself in life. Not long ago, Hefeng was his subordinate. In a blink of an eye, he grew to the point where he couldn't match the dust. Despair. An unprecedented despair shrouded. Although Rizan didn't want to admit it, he couldn't help but admit it. Maybe, even if they all go together, they may not be the opponents of the wind. Don't worry, Sun Slash, this is just an actual combat exercise, not fighting an enemy ninja. He noticed the despair in the eyes of Sun Zan. Feng smiled and said, the mirror will not be life-threatening, but I am hit by my strange power head-on. I am afraid it will take at least a few days to wake up. In other words, your illusion can no longer be activated. Feng pointed out this desperate situation sharply. Then, he turned and looked at the woods where Xiaochun and others were hiding. You guys, might as well come out all. Although I have a bell tied to my body, it is not difficult to find you one by one. On the one-on-one, all of you are hopeless. It's better to be straightforward, and all of you come together. Maybe, the wind has increased the volume twice. Xiaochun and Feng nodded slightly, feeling that Yan was right. The three cheered each other up, and then walked out of the woods. Then, in terms of one-to-one, none of them will be a gentle opponent. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Xiaochun, Yan, and the wind, the three looked at each other. Hefeng is right. 1-to-1, we really don't have any hope. 5 people, face the breeze together. On the other hand, Hefeng thinks this is interesting. Rizan put the unconscious mirror aside, dealt with his injury, and walked back to the original place. Danzo, who was terrified in his heart, also returned to the team at this time. I don't know why, they all feel that Hefeng is not bluffing. On the one hand, he was too lazy to play cat and mouse games with these people. After all, Our winning condition is not to beat Hefeng, but to snatch the bell. There is still a chance. What do you think? Yan took the lead and said, if everyone takes a shot together, there may be some wins. Chapter 119. Let's make a move together and beat the wind. 3 more, please. First order. Advertisement. Following Uchiha's coma, he died. Sun Zan and others had to give up the tactics with illusion as the core. They can only stand up and face the breeze together. The wooden dragon at the foot of the gentle wind collapsed and turned into a ruin, causing him to fall to the ground. Hefeng is alone, facing the entire future Konoha high level. Among them, the Japanese cut, Danzo is the strongest. Xiaochun and Yan followed. As for the wind, the strength is unknown. He only played twice in the Naruto story, and did not show any strength. But, judging from the identity of the Chu Dao clan, it is very likely that Kaifeng has mastered the unique secret technique of the Chu Dao clan. If you take the late Ding times as a reference, then the strength of taking the wind should not be too weak. Hefeng made a rough analysis of the 5 people in front of him. Sun Zan, among us, my physical skills are the strongest. Hu Feng suddenly spoke and arranged tactics to his companions. Taking into account that the mirror has lost the ability to fight, it is no longer realistic to count on his illusion. Ri Zan and others glanced at the wind. A secret technique of the Chu Dao clan. In a sense, the physical art of taking the wind is indeed the strongest among them. This is due to the unique secret technique of the Chu Dao clan. Maybe, taking the wind can counter the strange power of the wind. Hisaka, Danzo, you two will use ninjutsu for a feint. Xiaochun, Yan, you are waiting for the opportunity to grab the bell. Take the wind and take a deep breath, and ran toward the breeze. At this moment, he didn't even care about the reactions of Rizhin and others, staring at each move of the wind intently, condensing chakra towards his arm. The technique of partial doubling. The right hand that took the wind quickly swelled and hardened, becoming like a giant's arm, swinging his fist, and shooting towards the wind. Although he couldn't use the control of chakra like the Thousand Hands clan, he relied on the secret technique of the Autumn Dao clan. Formed a strange force in another sense. Suddenly, the fist that fetched the wind became bigger than the whole person of the gentle wind, and it lifted the air, bursting out a strong wind of fists. The huge fist is getting closer and closer to the wind. Aiming at his chest, he slammed over. Even if it is a gentle breeze, you can feel a strong sense of oppression from this fist. Rizhin and Danzo acted together at this time, cooperating with the wind, blocking the way for the wind to retreat. Advertisement. He had to face the huge fist. However, in Hefeng's eyes, the act of taking the wind is no different from that of a foolish man. If it's the butterfly chakra mode, maybe I can compete with me in strength. However, it's just an ordinary doubling technique. Hefeng's eyes narrowed slightly, and he looked at the fist that came over calmly. Afterwards, Hefeng raised his arm, grabbed his fist with his 5 fingers, concentrated his unique chakra on the fist, and then slammed it out. Face the attack of taking the wind. Boom. One big and one small fists meet each other. 1. The power is enhanced by the huge body. 1. The majestic chakra exploded to increase the strength. The 2 explosive forces were about the same for a while, generating an air current like a violent wind, which shook out in all directions. Even Sun Zan and Danzo did not expect that just a fist collision would produce such an amazing effect. For a time, the 2 couldn't help but cross their arms to defend, and their steps were forced to retreat by the airflow. After personally experiencing the strange power of the wind, it was only after taking the wind that I realized deeply. How terrible is this 7-year-old kid in front of me? Hefeng, is this guy really a human? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. This is a monster in human skin. He gritted his teeth tightly with the wind. He has always been extremely confident in his physical skills. Even to the point of being somewhat proud. But now. Don't talk about oneself, just 2 or 3. Adding the power to 1, I am afraid that it will not be able to crush the current breeze in power. Even, taking the wind could not help but sigh in his heart. It is absolutely incomprehensible if you don't follow the opponents of the Japanese style, when you are fighting against this guy. That kind of rush of oppression. And to doubt the powerlessness of life. Severe pain. Produced from the fingers that take the wind, it spreads along his arms to the whole body. Until this moment, Hefeng began to regret his self-confidence. Myself. You shouldn't rush up directly. After a fierce collision, instead of taking the wind, he couldn't bear it. His footsteps began to retreat, and he had to take off this force and restore the doubled arm to its normal size. And his 5 fingers all turned red. Too done too long bomb. At the same time, Sun Zan made seals with both hands, and deepened his chakra into the earth, using the environment here to increase the power of the earth dragon. Advertisement. Next second, an earth dragon that is not inferior to the Hefeng Shui dragon bullet, soared into the sky, then aimed at the Hefeng and dived down. He opened his mouth wide and swallowed it towards him. Looking at the earth dragon rushing to himself, he patted his hands with the breeze. The power is good, but not strong enough. Hefeng said lightly, slapped his hands, and used the technique of the wooden dragon to fight against it. For the current breeze, mu done plus water done. Enough for him to deal with most ninjutsu. Rumble. The wooden dragon soared into the sky and flew towards the sun-slashing earth dragon at a thundering speed, sending out waves of dragons, and biting the earth dragon's neck. 2 giant dragons twisted in the sky. One struggled hard, the other bit hard, and slammed into the open space on the side. Boom. With a loud noise, the two giant dragons smashed a huge pit in the open space, and the impact spread to the woods, uprooting the nearest towering tree and pushing it directly into the flat ground. After the continuous release of the powerful ninja, Sun Slash's chakra was consumed sharply. On the other hand, the gentle breeze is still calm. It's just another Sensho Zujian. Powerful against common sense. It made Rizin feel incredible. He originally thought that the Mu-dun controlled by the wind was just a ninjutsu such as the tree boundary wall and the violent spear tree. In his opinion, Hefeng, the kid, is totally unreasonable. From a distance, always observing the battle situation, the same looks incredible. At this moment, I can't wait to end the game and fight with the wind. My grandson Hefeng, the capital of Hokage. However, there is no sign of worrying about the amount of chakra. Sun Slash, it doesn't matter. The monkey demon fell on Sun Slash's shoulders, unavoidably starting to worry about his physical condition. Unexpectedly, Hefeng used the wood dragon technique so easily. This scene made Feijian's heart ecstatic. You must know that the ninja will not usher in the heyday of subversion until at least 16 or 17 years old, so that muscle strength, chakra volume, and full growth will be achieved. Between the eldest brother pillars, there are successors. At only 7 years old, he has such a terrifying chakra. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Hefeng is only 7 years old now. Chapter 121 Face to Face, kill Sarutobi Re/ in seconds. 4 more, first order. Advertisement. In that case, Hefeng glanced at the Sun Slash, which interrupted him to fight with the wind, and an instantaneous technique flashed in front of him. Seeing Hefeng suddenly appeared in front of him, Sarutobi Hitoshi was startled, and immediately reacted. Because an extremely Ling Li's oppressive feeling is rushing toward him. Gentle. Seriously. Ape demon. At such a close distance, it was too late for Rizan to dodge. At this time, he could only bite the bullet, gritted his teeth, and faced the breeze. Although Saru was terrified by Hefeng's talent, he was a psychic beast and companion of Sun Slash. The monkey demon still used the transformation technique without hesitation. Boom. The ape demon once again turned into a Rui diamond rod, spinning and flying into the hands of Rizin. After slightly weighing the weight of the Rui diamond rod, Rizin decisively extended the length of the Rui diamond rod, and shot towards Hefeng with the momentum of thunder. Today's Sarutobi Hizen is not the 60th old man who appears in the plot of Naruto. He is a teenager, and his body is mature. Whether it is power or speed, they are far beyond the 60th period. The Rui diamond rod went straight to the Hefengian gate, and in an instant, countless afterimages were formed, showing the rapid speed. And the afterimage of this wishful diamond rod shrouded Hefeng's body. It's like overwhelming the sky, hitting the gentle breeze. It's really you, Sarutobi Hitoshi. Hefeng's eyes widened, and he didn't expect Sun Slash at this age to have such a powerful strength. If you switch to another ninja, you might be defeated. No wonder, Rizin is the first among these people to be promoted to Shangnan. His strength really surpasses Danzo and He Jing. Hefeng gave great recognition to the performance of Sun Slash. But unfortunately, your opponent is neither Danzo nor Mirror, but me. The corner of Hefeng's mouth is rising, and in the past 3 months, he has been doing physical training continuously. Just to adapt to the damage caused by Bamandungia. Although in this battle, he was forbidden to use Bamandungia. But the physical training of the devil in the past 3 months has made the breeze change. Whether it is conditioned reflex, neural response, or the body's ability to act. The breeze is stronger than Xiao Li during the Zongnan exam. Facing Sun Zan's offensive like a gust of wind and rain, Hefeng accurately and unmistakably found the only true one among the countless wishful diamond rods. Advertisement. Whenever Sun Slash's attack was about to fall on Hefeng would dodge in advance at a faster speed. He just let all Sun Slash's attacks fail. Even the corner of the Japanese style, Rizan could not touch it. Not to mention, what kind of substantial damage was caused to the wind. Sarutobi's eyes slowly widened, and he stared at the small figure in front of him in disbelief. This guy is really only 7 years old. Wrong. This guy, is it really gentle? It's not that Mr. Zhu Jian, Mr. Shu Jian, disguised by using transfiguration technique. Hey, Sun Slash, you hit this kid. The ape demon who was constantly waving by the sun couldn't help complaining. He looked at Sun Zan's attack, and his heart was extremely depressed. However, Saruman didn't understand in his heart. Rizan didn't deliberately slap the air, but his attack did not touch Hefeng's body. The power gap between the two sides lies there. Gentle. Stronger than the day cut. That's why Sun Slash's attack could not hit him. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, and the battle between Hefeng and Rizin was seen by Danzo, Xiaochun and others. They were all dumbfounded, feeling dry and itchy in their throats, and swallowing saliva to relieve them. At the same time, their mood also sinks. Hefeng. It's too scary. Sun Slash's cudgel skills are not weak at all. Even on the contrary, not only is it not weak, but very strong. While constantly waving, an afterimage was created. This alone is enough to prove how fast Sun Slash's attack speed is. However, even so, Sun Slash's attack could not shake the wind. As this the power of the gentle wind. The grandson of the original Hokage-sama. It's too strong, gentle. Xiaochun and the others couldn't help but let out an exclamation. They all felt that their cognition of the ninja and the world was overturned by the wind at this moment. This guy is a monster. Suddenly, Sun Zan's attack stopped abruptly, he kicked his feet, jumped backward, and drew enough distance from the wind. In his opinion, even if such an attack continues, it will only consume his energy in vain. Advertisement. Ape Demon. I saw. Rizin took a deep breath and turned the Rui Diamond Rod on the spot, using the wind escape ninjutsu, and combined with the Rui Diamond Rod to produce a strong wind, which absorbed the breeze. Wishful stick Garius wind. Unexpectedly, Sun Zan would have the gentle breeze of this trick, and his feet were forced to leave the ground, and the whole person flew directly to Sun Zan. At the same time, Rizin changed his normal, holding the Rui Diamond Rod with both hands, making the Tsuruma bigger and thicker, and slapped it violently against the flying breeze. Good job, Risho. Upon seeing the breeze, he did not resist Sun Zan's wind escape, but stared at the thick diamond rod intently, clenched his fists, and burst out strange power. Then, meet up. Boom. With a loud noise, the burst of air flow instantly offset the gust of wind generated by the wishful stick. The fist of the wind is on the diamond rod. I have to say that the diamond rod is harder than what he imagined. It made his fist feel tingling. You know, this is a punch that wraps chakra. It actually made his fist tingle with tingling pain. And Rizan's eyes were full of shock. Unexpectedly, even such a blow would be able to withstand the gentle wind. Haven't been beaten by the diamond stick. How strong is his physical fitness? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Pouch. Sun cut is dangerous. Boom. This foot was magnified countless times in Rizan's sight. Hefeng, on the other hand, simply seized this opportunity, changed his claws with his fists, pinched the diamond stick, and then pulled it hard. Under the effect of inertia, Rizan's body was uncontrollable, moved forward, and was pulled in the direction of the wind. Next second, I saw Hefeng press his hands on the golden rod. Even if the Tsurumo stretched out his hand at this moment, he held Hefeng's arm instead. Sarutobi Hizen immediately sprayed blood for 3 liters, released the diamond rod with both hands, and flew out 8 feet away. It also failed to prevent his next attack. Danzo and others reacted at this moment. The wind flew directly in the air, kicking to Hizen's chest. Their position is too late to stop the wind. Afterwards, the power of terror surged towards Sun/'s body and was released by Hefeng without reservation. For a time, Sarutobi recut, couldn't help but stunned. The gentle wind kicked Zangri Zan's chest, sturdy, and burst into a loud noise. But, Chapter 121 Outbreak, Red Pepper Balls, 5 more. Advertisement. Rizin, kicked by the gentle breeze, flew upside down. The blood spilled all over the place. But Rizan's body drew a perfect arc in the air, fell heavily to the ground, smashed into a mud pit, and kept rolling out. Smoke rises and rolls, lingering around. Damn it. The Rui King Kong rod fell to the ground and recovered with a bang. He looked back at Sun Zan. The whole scene was silent. Danzo, Xiaochun, Yan, and Feng all stood blankly on the spot, with incredible and horrified glances in their eyes. The breeze only used 1 foot. Just killed Sarutobi Hizen. This power is too terrifying. Is this the weird power of the Thousand Hands clan? How could a 7-year-old kid have such terrible power? This strong visual effect gave everyone a great shock. Especially Danzo, feeling a chill erodes his body, making his back feel cold, and he can't help but shiver. At this moment, Danzo's thoughts returned to the beginning. The day when I first saw Hefeng and was asked by Master Shuima to fight with Hefeng. The breeze at that time, in the state of Duman, punched. It caused him a psychological shadow that was difficult to erase. I thought that this month, as long as I train hard. When he sees Hefeng again, he can let go and erase the psychological shadow of Hefeng. Result. It turns out, this bell battle just made Danzo once again feel the terrible breeze. That terrifying power made him feel desperate. Unable to reach the dust. Danzo rolled his throat and swallowed nervously, his legs felt a little soft. In my heart, I felt even more horrified about Hefeng. It is as strong as Sarutobi Hijutsu, all being kicked by a gentle breeze. Undoubtedly, Danzo's courage to face the breeze completely collapsed. Xiaochun and Yan blinked his eyes vigorously, wondering if he had seen something wrong. However, when they opened their eyes again, the only thing that caught your eye was the sun slash, which fell motionless on the ground, and the blood that was sprinkled on the ground and killed. They read it right, nor is it an illusion. But Sarutobi Hijutsu, the only shinobu among them, was indeed solved by the wind. Can't get up again. At the same time, this also means that there is a power gap between Sarutobi Rishi and Hefeng. Otherwise, advertisement. How could Sun Slash be killed by Hefeng? Hefeng, do you already have the strength of the elite Shangnan? Yan took a breath and couldn't help thinking of this possibility. But the others didn't even refute. A 7-year-old kid who possesses the strength of an elite Shangnan. This is, how outrageous. It's too ridiculous. Can we really grab a bell from Hefeng's hands? Xiaochun trembling voice, as soon as she spoke, she shook her head. Grab a bell. In this case, still want to grab a bell. Sun Cut, Mirror, they are all down. With just a few of them, still want to snatch the bell. It's just an idiot dream. It should be said, in this situation, can they meet those 2 bells? You guys, don't you plan to go? Seeing Sun Zan lying there, Hefeng turned around, glanced at Danzo and the others, and spoke to them. This bell battle, but it's not over yet. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Okay, even though sun slash and mirror are down, you still have a lot of physical strength, don't you? In that case, let us continue. The breeze paused for a while, and he didn't rush to move. In his opinion, the two most troublesome problems have been solved. The remaining few are even less likely to be their own opponents. Their failure is doomed. If from the very beginning, you guys will shoot together, maybe there will be some opportunities. The gentle breeze stood in place, and the breeze made his bell make a clear and sweet sound. However, for today's Danzo and others, the sound of the bell was obviously terrifying. An invisible sense of oppression enveloped them, making them afraid to act rashly. Hefeng doesn't even worry about making a move. Danzo squatted halfway on the ground, looking at the wind and analyzing it. But in fact, the current Danzo keeps sweating from his back, and he gets a lot of ninjas wet. He really couldn't think of any way able to snatch those two bells from Hefeng's body. Xiaochun and Yan looked at the figure of the wind. Despair. They felt desperate from Hefeng. If this is not an actual combat exercise, but a fight. Advertisement. I'm afraid we are all going to die here today. Hefeng gritted his teeth. He wanted to refute Xiaochun, telling her that they didn't have no hope at all. But, this sentence is like 10 million tons. I can't say how to take the wind. Although Hefeng is only 7 years old, his strength is very exaggerated. Even at any cost, there is no certainty about taking the wind. Do not. Even so. I can never back down. Thinking of this, he took a step forward and took out the 3-color pill from the ninja bag. This is a secret medicine unique to the Chudao clan. They are green spinach balls, yellow curry balls, and red pepper balls. Each one can tap its own potential. The price is that serious side effects will be formed. Especially the red pepper balls. It can strengthen 100 times of its own strength, and when taken, it can give birth to a chakra in the form of butterfly wings. However, relying on this kind of external force, how much strength is obtained, we must bear the corresponding risk. While bringing strength to the body, it can also cause severe loads and even cause death. Logically speaking, this kind of thing, it should be used against the enemy at a critical moment. But, seeing that his comrades wanted to stop the wind, Danzo immediately said, we must go all out now. Otherwise, don't even think of grabbing a bell from the monster Hefeng. After weighing the pros and cons, the third red pepper pill was decisively drawn out. Xiaochun, Yan. Danzo's words silenced Xiaochun and Yan. While taking the wind, he swallowed the red pepper balls in one bite. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Get the wind, you. In any case, I don't want to lose to the wind like this. Only Danzo, after seeing Hefeng made up his mind, heaved a sigh of relief. Explode power beyond yourself. Xiaochun and Yan were all taken aback by this scene. The technique of doubling. Now with the increase of the red pepper pill, it is enough to make the wind gain stronger power. After all, he himself is a somewhat arrogant person. Just now when he fisted with the wind and the breeze, his strength was equal. His body quickly swelled and hardened, turning into a giant of 7 or 8 meters. Under the action of this force, taking the wind doubled the whole body. Chapter 122 Fat people are potential stocks. 6 more, first order. Advertisement. After taking the red chili pill, the fat from the wind disappears at a speed that is visible to the naked eye. From a chubby little fat man to a handsome guy. Fatty. As expected, they are all potential stocks. Hefeng blinked, watching the changes in Feng. Now he is totally different from just now. Whether it is appearance or momentum. Especially the chakra, who took the wind, got a qualitative improvement. In every sense, taking the wind is a potential stock. As that, to take the wind. Xiaochun, Yan, and Danzo were all dumbfounded. Although Feng had heard more than once how powerful the 3-color pill was, it was the first time they saw it and took Feng and took the red pepper pill. While standing on the tree to observe the battle, he did not expect such a determination to get the wind. The secret red pepper pill of the Chudao clan can increase the strength by 100 times, but it will bring a great load to the body. A little carelessness, there is a risk of death. Half squinting his eyes, he has a new evaluation of the will to take the wind. At the same time, he is also looking forward to it. Gentle. How will it deal with the current wind? Call. The light blue chakra emerged from behind the wind, slowly expanding, like a pair of butterfly wings, on his back. Hefeng saw this scene in his eyes, and his thoughts couldn't help but think of Sasuke's pursuit. Before that, Hefeng had always thought that Dingxi was the pig among the pigs, deer and butterflies. Until the battle with Jirofeng, Dingxi broke out the butterfly chakra mode. Hefeng realized it. Original. The fattest guy is butterfly. Ino is the pig. Especially the appearance of Dingxi losing weight in an instant, Hefeng felt that he was so handsome. The technique of doubling. However, just turning on the butterfly chakra mode is not enough. Taking the wind to further exert the secret technique of the Chudao clan, double the body and expand to 7 or 8 meters. Like a giant. Next second, take the wind and disappear directly in place. Xiaochun, Yan, and Danzo. There was no reaction at all. Whether it is appearance or strength, the wind is different from before. Hefeng, who I am now, is better than before. It's 100 times stronger. The disappearing take wind suddenly appeared behind Hefeng. I saw the wind clenched his fist and slammed it down. Advertisement. It was too late and then fast, and the wind used a substitute technique, replaced the position with a wooden stake, and avoided the attack of taking the wind. Then Hefeng turned and looked. Seeing a fist that was bigger than oneself, he pressed down the wooden stake and fell into the ground. Rumble. A loud noise spread. The momentum was deafening. Ruiguaner. The ground hit by the wind was shattered layer by layer, spreading out like spider web-like cracks. Flying stone rolls. The impact spreads out in ripples. Swept the entire exercise field. This blow was not weaker than the pain of the wind. Do not. It's stronger than my painful feet. Hefeng took a breath, but he did not expect to take the wind but became a hidden boss. However, this is not surprising. Take the wind has only appeared twice in the comics. Once, Sarutobi was appointed as Naruto. Another time, it was the turbulent Knight of Nine Tails. Both times to take the wind appeared as a background board, and did not show his strength. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Therefore, in the impression of most people, taking the wind does not have a sense of existence. But, the Chu Dao clan has never been weak. Their secret ninjutsu is a kind of yang escape attribute change to make the body huge. Coupled with the increase in red pepper balls. Suddenly becoming so strong is naturally not something outrageous. Did you miss it? I took the wind and removed my fist, and found that the center of the pit was just a piece of wood that had been squashed. It seems that I have to shoot faster. Muttering to himself, he quickly searched for the location of the breeze. However, Hefeng did not hide. If this is the case, then I will fight with all my strength. The corner of the Hefeng's mouth rose, and a confident smile appeared, and he patted his hands with a crisp sound. Soon, earthquake. The ground under Hefeng's feet cracked, and vines began to grow wildly, supporting Hefeng's feet and raising him. Countless vines gathered together and became thick and hard. However, this time, they did not change into lifelike wooden dragons, but condensed in one place, forming the hideous head of the face. Then there is a strong body and limbs, looking fierce and evil, glaring directly at the wind. Advertisement. Surprisingly, the art of the wooden man. Hefeng stands on the left shoulder of the wood as it should, controlling it to step forward and rushing towards the wind. Xiaochun, Yan, and Danzo, looking at the scene before them, suddenly felt a tingling scalp. Is it possible that a gentle chakra is a bottomless pit? After fighting the ninjutsu against Sun Zan, there is still such a terrifying amount of chakra to activate the wooden man's art. This is too exaggerated. That's eldest brothers. The door room standing on the branch was once again shocked by the wind technique. Not only the wooden dragon of the eldest brother, but also the wooden man of the eldest brother. Hefeng has mastered this point. I thought that after taking the wind and using the red chili pill to increase the strength, it would defeat the wind with an overwhelming advantage. Now it seems that this duel has become hard to say again. I have to say that Hefeng today brought a huge surprise to Fagian. Come on, gentle. Taking the wind to face the wooden man without fear, he raised his right hand, clenched his fist, and smashed towards the wooden man. Bang! I saw the wooden men greet each other with their palms and took the attack of taking the wind. But, the power of taking the wind is extremely powerful, and an air current burst out at the moment of the collision, sweeping out in all directions. The sun slash lying on the ground flew out again. Xiaochun, Yan, and Danzo. They had planned to take this opportunity to rush up to snatch the bell. As a result, before they could take a few steps, they were forced to retreat by the incoming air currents. Back 10 meters in a row. The severe pain spread, and the wind had to grit his teeth. And taking the wind is to imitate the way that the wooden man blocks his own attack, and blocks the opponent's attack with his palm. This scene is what Hefeng wants. He bombarded the ground fiercely. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. At the critical moment, he instinctively wanted to pull his hand from the wind, but he was caught up by the wooden man. He patted his hands again, separated two wooden dragons from the wooden man, opened his teeth and danced his claws, and bit towards the wind. Then, whoops, suddenly, the giant wind and the wooden man entered the stage of wrestling. Click. I won't give up. Two wooden dragons, one biting the clavicle for wind, the other biting his shoulder. With a low roar from the wind, he slapped the butterfly of chakra, soaring into the sky, directly leading the gentle wooden man into the air. The wooden man bends his 5 fingers and squeezes the fist that fetches the wind instead of giving him a chance to withdraw. He raised his fist with the other hand and hammered it towards his front door. But, rumble, suddenly, the wooden man and the wind are intertwined. Chapter 123 Fei Jian, my mentality collapsed. 7 more. First order. Advertisement. Taking the wind took the wooden figure soaring into the sky. The breeze jumped aside. Taking the red chili pill to take the wind, the strength far exceeds the expectation of the wind. Even the wooden men were easily taken to the sky by the wind. Then, taking the wind and exerting all his strength, he dived toward the ground, leading the wooden man to hit it down. Rumble. The roar shook the sky and the earth, like a mountain collapse, and the ground cracked. The wooden man smashed his back to the ground, directly destroying a deep pit, and the impact surging in all directions, uprooting the towering trees in this area and directly pushing them flat. Amazingly, the scope of the exercise field has more than doubled. Xiaochun, Yan, and Danzo, even unable to defend against this shock, rolled out one after another and fell heavily to the ground. I don't know how long it took before this shock subsided gradually. The gentle wooden men and wooden dragons were directly crushed by the force of the wind. The strength to take the wind is so strong. Hefeng looked directly at the wind ahead and expressed his appreciation without hesitation. However, in order to get rid of the Mu Ren, Mu Long, taking the wind has also paid a considerable price. With this blow, he consumed quite a lot of chakras. As a result, it was unable to maintain the form of the doubling technique. His body began to shrink at a speed visible to the naked eye, returning to a normal shape. Take the wind and breathe, turning the air around you into carbon dioxide and spit it out. He feels dry mouth. The side effects of red pepper pills slowly appeared. His muscles, meridians, and bones all faintly hurt. I don't even know how long I can hold on to the wind. Gentle style. Take the wind and roll your throat, swallow the saliva secreted from your mouth, to relieve the pain of burning your throat. Relying on his will, he stood up in the ruins. Then, take the wind to condense the last chakra all on the right hand. This is almost his last strength. Now you are almost reaching the limit. Hefeng said to take the wind, and then approached him in 3 steps and 2 steps. With the current situation, the gentle breeze does not need to be close to getting the breeze. He doesn't have much physical strength left. On the other hand, he still maintains a sufficient amount of chakra. Create a wooden man again. It's not difficult at all. On the contrary, it is the physical strength to take the wind, and he has not been allowed to deal with a wooden man. Take the wind and endure the pain of the body. Facing the wind, you really are a monster. He recognized the facts once again. Although Hefeng is a 7-year-old kid, he is a real monster. They are not ordinary people like them at all. Can be compared. The gentle breeze nodded slightly, spread out his palms, and condensed and rotated chakra toward the palm of his hand. 2 or 3 could not breathe, and a light blue chakra pill appeared in Hefeng's hands. Advertisement. It is the spiral pill. Although he eventually lost the wind, he was a respectable opponent. In order to pay his respect, Hefeng gave up the long-range ninjutsu, kicked his feet, rushed to get the wind, holding the spiral pill in his right hand, and pushed out. Okay, what an amazing chakra. Feng suddenly widened his eyes, staring at the chakra maru in Hefeng's hand. This was the first time he saw such ninjutsu. Come on, Hefeng, this is almost my last strength. Taking the wind, he took a deep breath, his eyes locked on the wind. At this moment, he put the bell behind and enjoyed his last moments. Butterfly bomb crit. Taking the wind burst into an astonishing roar, clenched his fist with his right hand, and bombarded the spiral pill. I saw Chakra's wings quickly collapsed behind the wind, but a blue chakra appeared on his fist. It's like a ball of flame, beating constantly. As the wind said. This is his last strength. Rumble. The butterfly bomb crit and the spiral pill collided strongly. Not giving way to each other. The air was lifted out by their power and hit the ground, causing the earth to collapse in an instant. In the end, 2 majestic chakras burst on the spot, pushing them both out. Only, read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Losing the chakra to take the wind is like a kite with a broken line, flying backwards uncontrollably. Hefeng leaned back, pressed against the ground with both hands, and rolled continuously. All the shocks received were unloaded. Thump. The back hit the ground with the wind, and his hands and feet were as heavy as tens of thousands of caddies, and he couldn't lift it at all. What you see is the blue sky and white clouds like cotton candy. Still, can't it? It is unwilling to take the wind, even if it is desperate to use red pepper pills. Still can't make up the gap between myself and the wind. This is genius. The gap with ordinary people. However, taking the wind did not continue to struggle with this issue. Soon, a strong sense of exhaustion swept through his body, making his eyelids heavy, and slowly closing together. It was dark in front of me, and I lost consciousness. And the battle process of peace and wind is seen in the eyes. Just stand on the spot. Both sides showed great strength. Especially the gentle breeze. What happened to that chakra just now? There were a lot of questions in Feijian's heart. He had never seen ninjutsu like that. Advertisement. Moreover, he has never seen the use of the column. Is it possible? Is that a new technique developed by Hefeng? As soon as this thought came out, I started to shake my head. He strongly denied this idea. Gentle, only 7 years old. How could a 7-year-old kid develop such a terrible ninjutsu? Maybe others can't tell, but as the god of ninjutsu, he can see it completely. It is a kind of ninjutsu that compresses chakras together with a very exaggerated density. When touching an object, it will release the power of chakra. To some extent, ninjutsu used by the Japanese style. It is similar to the tail beast jade released by the tail beast. It is hard to imagine that a 7-year-old kid can develop such a terrible ninjutsu. Therefore, Feijian couldn't help but think of the person who developed this ninjutsu as the pillar. But, my previous self thought so more than once. Weird force. 8-door Dunjia. Water escape. He thought he was secretly teaching Hefeng between the pillars. Result. Not at all. I was slapped in the face. Then, spread out the palm of the hand and stare down at the palm, trying to condense the chakra like a Japanese wind. Then, gradually widening his eyes, he tried more than a dozen times in one breath, but failed. Even he couldn't even guess the essentials of Helix Maru. And many more. What's the matter with that technique just now? Blinking between the eyes, my scalp feels numb. Myself. It's impossible to replicate the ninjutsu of Japanese style. Do not. It is not impossible to copy. Instead. No idea. I can't figure out the principle of ninjutsu used by a 7-year-old kid. Suddenly, the state of mind in the middle collapsed. Chapter 124 Destroy the entire Konoha future high level, 8 more, first order. Advertisement. After falling down with the wind, the whole exercise field fell silent. The atmosphere became a little weird. Xiaochun, Yan, Danzo, the three of them got up from the ground, but no one made a sound, and no one dared to act. Actually, Xiaochun and the others are not stupid enough to hand over the wind to a person who takes the wind to deal with it. When the two of them were fighting individually, they wanted to rush over more than once and take the opportunity to snatch the bell. It turns out, they, thinking too much. On the one hand, through the red pepper pill, this external force that must pay a serious price, the power has been increased by 100 times. On the other side, it is a genius and wind who was born like a monster. The fight between the two of them is not a battle that ordinary people like them can get in. Suddenly, Hefeng turned around and looked at the last three people. He gradually showed a smile. The two sides looked at each other, no one moved. It's like a prelude to the coming storm. It's so quiet. It's over. This time it's completely over. Xiaochun Hua's face paled, completely losing her confidence. Sarutobi recut. Uchiha mirror. Autumn Road takes the wind. The strong in these teams are now all down. Only guys like Yan and Danzo were left beside him. Do you want to fight with the wind? In particular. I saw the picture of taking the wind and taking red pepper pills to double the strength. Let Xiaochun rekindle hope in her heart. Immediately afterwards, this hope that was finally ignited, in a blink of an eye, fell down with the wind and was directly shattered. Only the powerlessness and despair for the strength of the wind are left. This kind of emotional change is the part that strikes people's hearts. What do we do now? I don't know how long it took. Seeing that Hefeng had no intention of making a move, Xiaochun tentatively spoke to his companions next to him. The mirror was killed in a second, Rizan fainted, and the wind fell down. Yan took a breath. I'm afraid no one of us can get a bell from Hefeng. Yes it is. In Yanyan, only 3 of them. There is no hope of snatching bells from Hefeng. As long as Hefeng thinks, you can solve the 3 of them at any time. No, assert so early. Advertisement. Danzo suppressed the psychological shadow of Hefeng, wanting to act like the captain of this unit. Unfortunately, this kind of self-deception did not play a role. Danzo only glanced at the gentle breeze. This pretentious mood was directly defeated. In the face of absolute power, any bells and whistles are meaningless. Even though Danzo racked his brains, he couldn't think of a way to snatch the bell from Hefeng. Danzo. Inflammation. Xiaochun clenched his fists with both hands, clenched his teeth, and stood up from the ground. By now, they have no other way but to face it. Hefeng faced the remaining 3 people. After the wheel fight just now, his chakra has consumed a lot. A conservative estimate. The amount of chakra left by himself now. It's almost 4 times that of Kakashi. It's time to end the Bell War. Although the time limit given to them is 1 day and 1 night, as long as all these people are stunned. Let them fall asleep, and they can find a place to rest until the time is over. Not as good as. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, strike the iron while it's hot. Moreover, if you don't take advantage of the current situation to deal with Xiaochun and the others, once my chakra is restored, then they really won't have much chance. Hefeng thought to himself. He feels that he is still a person who thinks of others. However, when Hefeng takes steps and shortens the distance, a sense of oppression rushed toward the 3 of Xiaochun, as if something was pressing on them, making their legs extremely heavy. Despair. The current situation makes Xiaochun and others feel deeply desperate. At this time, it's only the last fight, Xiaochun said to his companion beside him. However, this sentence is more like saying to herself. Anyway, it was a failure. Might as well fight this to the death. After a desperate battle, there may still be a chance to come back. But once you give up, you will definitely lose. And, the few battles just now should have consumed a lot of chakra. Maybe, he is actually bluffing. Xiaochun simply turned her mind and began to fool herself. Because in any case, the breeze is not like chakra exhaustion, bluffing. But Danzo Heian really believed it. Advertisement. Moment. The 3 moved together, from left, right, and front, running towards the breeze at the same time. Then, they set up the seal together and displayed their best ninjutsu. Boom towards the wind together. You must win. Xiaochun took a breath and used the fire to escape, spouting a sky full of flames, covering it towards the gentle breeze. Danzo releases wind escape, forming countless wind blades. Yan also used fire escape ninjutsu and spit out a fire. They are in a panic. For them, this is undoubtedly the last hope and opportunity. If they join forces, they will still be unable to defeat Hefeng. Then, they really lost. Moreover, it was still rubbed on the ground by a 7-year-old child. Their ninjutsu was crushed by the wind in all aspects. More than 10 years of hard work is not as good as 3 months of growth. What is the significance of their efforts? Is it an exaggeration of the talent used to set off the wind? Without comparison, there is no harm. You did a good job, but the game should be over. Hefeng looked at the ninjutsu released by the 3 at the same time, and his hands quickly sealed. Water escape water front wall. I saw the Japanese wind spewing waterfall like water from the mouth this time, forming a wall of water from bottom to top. Defend all the ninjutsu of Xiaochun, Yan, and Danzo. Then, from behind the Japanese breeze, wood grows, slowly changing, and the facial features like the Japanese breeze emerge. Whoosh. These wooden men came to life in an instant, they opened their eyes and rushed out of Hefeng's body. easily rushed out of the water wall. At the moment when Xiaochun, Yan and Danzo's ninjutsu dissipated, they fell in front of them. 3 Mu Dun clones shot at the same time, confronted with Xiaochun and others. The results can be imagined. Even without the 8 doors Dunjia, Hefeng's physical skills are not weaker than these teenage ninjas. Plus weird power. Yan was the first to be unable to resist, and was hit by a Thanglong punch by Hefeng, and the first to faint. Then came Danzo, desperately pulling away from the wind, and continuously spit out the wind blade. However, the wood dragon technique used by Hefeng clone was blocked one after another. Soon, the Mulong rolled forward, biting Tuan Zhang's abdomen, leading him to hit the ground. In the entire exercise field, only Xiaochun remained alone, still maintaining consciousness. But lost the courage to continue fighting, and sat on the ground with a plop. Gentle, with one's own power, destroyed the entire future high-level Konoha. Chapter 125 Who was the god of ninjutsu? One more. Advertisement. In a blink of an eye, high-quality seeds were carefully selected from the ninja school. All fall down. This, standing on the branches of the tree, I froze for a long time. Before that, he had imagined more than once how this bell competition would end. But only, he didn't expect it to be this way. Clash from the sun, Danzo, take the initiative to act as bait, facing the breeze. Until Xiaochun was exhausted, she fell into a coma with the last trace of strength. Before and after, it only took half an hour. In half an hour, Hefeng killed a ninja troop. Among them, Sarutobi recut, Uchiha Mirror, Autumn Road takes the wind. They are all powerful ninjas. As a result, in front of the wind, all of them were defeated. Especially the corners of the Japanese-style clothes are still clean until now. The 2 bells were not touched the whole time. This is the most unexpected place. In the Baman Dunjia who restrained the breeze by himself, after the shadow avatar. Rizan and others still didn't even touch the bell. How amazing is this? You know, Hefeng is only 7 years old. From making up his mind to become a ninja, until now, only 3 months have passed. In other words, Hefeng, it only took 3 months, and it surpassed the efforts of Rizan and others for more than 10 years. This even makes Zhangjian unavoidable. Work hard. What's the point? Especially compared with a genius like Hefeng. Also, what happened to the ninjutsu that Waka's just used? Looking up and down the wind, the more I look at it, the more I feel this kid is outrageous. Shouldn't he? What kind of plugin does he open? Forget it. Take a deep breath between the door, and forcefully suppress the current emotions. However, the shock to the performance of the Japanese style, in my heart, has never been able to subside. Before and after, only half an hour. A ninja troop was solved in half an hour. It takes only 5 minutes to deal with one person on average. Sun slash them, are they so weak? Jump from the branch in the door. According to the current state, they may not be able to wake up within 1 day and 1 night. This bell battle can be declared over. Advertisement. However, as soon as this thought came into his mind, he shook his head quickly. How could it be Sun Slash and they are too weak? These people are all carefully selected from the ninja school, who are accepted as disciples, and focus on training. Behind everyone is the Konoha family. And Sun Cut, Mirror, Wind. Do not. Even Danzo is a genius ninja among the younger generations of various families. That's right, even Danzo. So, it's not that Sun Zan and others are too weak. But the breeze is too strong. Yes it is. The breeze is too strong. It is not a question of their weakness. It's just that, I never thought that Hefeng followed the sun to cut them, and now they have opened such a big gap. Even me, I want to fight with the wind. Although Jian is now in charge of Konoha, far away from the battlefield, and has not performed a mission for a long time, but many times, he wants to experience it again. The blood boiled when fighting against people. However, Zhangjian soon realized that there was something wrong. The second generation of Hokage, Konoha himself, was thinking of fighting with a 7-year-old kid. What's going on here? And, to win is to bully the small. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. If you lose, you will be ashamed and thrown at home. I'm afraid it's not the eldest brother Zujian, and his sister-in-law Mito will spit out myself severely. Not even a 7-year-old child has ever been beaten. And many more. He blinked his eyes. I thought I would lose. What a joke. The more I thought about it, the more I felt something was wrong, and my heart suddenly became mad. I am a dignified second-generation Hokage, unexpectedly. Would you feel that you might lose to Hefeng, this 7-year-old kid? This is too weird. Grandpa Fagian. The breeze at this time also noticed the doorway that was slowly approaching. He turned to look around, smiled and said, yes, you can declare that the bell battle is over, right? I think, they probably won't wake up for a while. In Hefeng's view, there is no need to wait until 1 day and 1 night pass. It can be announced directly in the interim. Of course, if you have to feel it in the meantime, you have to count on time. Then find a place for yourself and get a good night's sleep. Gentle breeze. After thinking about it for a while, he neither announced the end of the bell battle, nor opposed it. He turned off the topic and asked Helix Maru. Even in the beginning, when I saw Helix Maru, I felt incredible. Who taught you that ninjutsu? Advertisement. Hefeng was not surprised by the reaction between the two. Helix Maru itself is an S-rank ninjutsu. Cultivation is extremely difficult and powerful. Invented by the 4th generation of Hokage wave Fengshauman. The generation of Naruto Uzumaki has carried forward. rolled out all kinds of balls. It has become the symbol of Uzumaki Naruto ninjutsu. The protagonist's famed stunt, can it be a normal ninjutsu? It's normal to surprise GN. Just. In today's era, Bofeng Shuiman has not yet been born. It will take at least a few decades before this ninjutsu will appear. But now, I have learned the spiral pill by clocking in. Naturally, it is hard to say that it was taught by others. After Watergate is born, be nice to him. Hefeng thought to himself, and then said to the door, Helix Maru, you should think it is the ninjutsu I developed. If you don't say that, what can you do? I am also desperate. After all, this ninjutsu, no one knows now. If it was taught by others, it would arouse suspicion. So it can only be explained like this. However, even in the midst of psychological construction, after hearing these words, he still looked shocked. What the hell? That ninjutsu, was the ninjutsu invented by my grandson Hefeng. Are you kidding me? Seeing the reaction in the door, Hefeng had to raise his arms, spread his palms, and spin chakra together. The light blue chakra appeared on Hefeng's hands, forming a ball. Was it invented by the wind? This ninjutsu is not only powerful, but also doesn't require Jayin. At the age of 7, he developed ninjutsu. The line of sight in the door was gradually attracted to the past. This requires precise control of the chakra to a certain degree to complete. It seems that he is only 7 years old this year, right? After such a close observation. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Actually, in other words, ninjutsu is so amazing. Such terrible ninjutsu. He is the god of ninjutsu. The mentality collapsed. Only then did he realize that the gentle breeze concentrated the chakras in his hands, flowed in irregular directions, and compressed the chakras to form a non-attribute chakra ball. And, in the actual combat process, it is equivalent to occupying a congenital advantage. In the middle, chapter 126 Hefeng is the captain, and everyone's hope is met, 2 more. Advertisement. Hefeng was only 7 years old, and he developed such a terrible ninjutsu Helix Maru. If you give him enough time, it is impossible to imagine how many surprises he will bring to himself. Especially after observing the Helix pill up close, this ninjutsu is almost similar to the tail beast Jade. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I couldn't believe it. He is only 7 years old and can develop such a ninjutsu. In fact, this ninjutsu is really not a Japanese development. It was the reward he got from the punch card package. Although Hefeng wanted to tell the truth, this kind of truth sounds like a fantasy. I'm afraid that even if he said it, he wouldn't believe it. Not only wouldn't he believe it, but maybe he would doubt if he had a fever and burned his brain. Hefeng is also desperate, can only silently memorize the pot that developed the ninjutsu Helix Maru. And the next thing is relatively simple. After Sarutobi Hizen and others fought against Hefeng, they all passed out. They also suffered injuries of varying degrees. To ensure that their injuries will not worsen, temporarily let go of the shock at Hefeng, and help them deal with their injuries. After about a few hours, these people woke up one after another. Hefeng was found sitting beside the door. I declare. Seeing that everyone had regained consciousness, he slowly said, this bell battle. End here. Of course, if you are among you. I saw my hands around my chest, scanning every disciple present, who still thinks that Hefeng does not have the ability to lead you. You can challenge him again. As soon as this was said, the audience was silent. The atmosphere became extremely depressing. After personally feeling the power of the breeze. Everyone present. No one would question the strength of Hefeng. In the bell battle just now, each of them went all out without reservation. Result. The last thing everyone got was scarred and unconscious. Look back at the breeze. His face was indifferent, even his clothes showed no signs of wrinkles. Even after Sarutobi Hizen felt for a while, he found it surprisingly. The gentle chakra is still abundant. If the battle just now was not an actual combat exercise, it was a fight. Hizen and others feel that today they will be explained here without exception. Advertisement. From now on, the entire ninja world will no longer have their names. This time, they lost in a mess. When I was in charge of border defense work with young Master Hefeng, I knew that young Master Hefeng was very capable. Uchiha Mirror broke the silence first. However, after playing against Master Hefeng today, I have real feelings. His strength is beyond my reach. I have no objection to him as the captain of this ninja army. Mirror told her true thoughts. In fact, he is not complimenting the piece. But, he recognized reality and no longer had hope for some fantasy. Whether it is the mind, talent, strength, growth rate. The breeze far surpasses him, surpasses them. Among these people, Jing couldn't think of a person who was more suitable to be the captain than the gentleman. Is it possible? Do you count on Sun Slash? Although he is excellent in all aspects, reliable, and responsible, but this is only relative to ordinary people. It's totally different from monsters like Hefeng, and it's incomparable. Everyone, blame me for being too weak. Rizan took a deep breath, showing unwillingness. He is the only shinobu in this team. He deserves to lead his partners to victory in the bell contest. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. In order to fight against the wind this time, he has not slackened himself for a single moment in this month. Even the food is something like rice balls, something that can be solved by dividing by 2. However, when facing the breeze, all his efforts seem to be meaningless. Let alone lead everyone to grab the bell. He didn't even touch it. Sun Slash, it's not that you are too weak. Upon seeing this, Xiaochun began to comfort Qi Rizhen, but, Master Hefeng, he is too strong. Suddenly, everyone present fell silent, and none of them refuted Xiaochun's point of view. This is not only a comfort to Sun Zan, but also a bloody fact. Whether it's a day cut or forcibly turning on the butterfly mode to take the wind. Their strength is already very strong. But there is no way. Compared with the Zephyr with a plug-in, their strength seems average. But there is no alternative. The ninjutsu currently mastered by the Japanese style. Weird Force, 8-door Dunjia, Spiral Pill, Wood Escape. Each of them is a ninjutsu that can be on its own. Advertisement. Not to mention, there is a gentle breeze across the city. Even if he was just a 6 or 7-year-old child, the gap in ninjutsu could not be made up by the efforts of Sun Slash and others. What's more, Hefeng is only 7 years old. His mind did not stay at the stage of 7 years old. In addition, the contest of ninjas is a contest of intelligence. Hefeng knows the roots of the sun and others. There are plugins such as the punch card system. Beat them now. But as expected, regarding these things, Rizhen and the others, who were completely unaware of these things, didn't feel happy in their hearts. No matter how you know that Hefeng is a genius. It's a monster. It cannot be treated with common sense. But it occurred to him that he was only 7 years old. In their hearts, they felt desperate. Haha, okay, everyone relax. Hefeng looked at the Konoha Miku bosses in front of him and slapped his thigh. He felt that if he didn't say anything more, recut them, I'm afraid it's not going to be emotionally broken. From today, you will be my Hefeng subordinates. But we don't have to maintain a relationship between superiors and subordinates everywhere. You can treat me as your friend. The gentle breeze paused for a while, and the conversation turned. Of course, as Master Phaegian said, if you take it seriously and think you have the strength to attack me, I can accept your challenge at any time. There was a gentle breeze, and everyone's sight swept over everyone present. The result was the same as he thought. The audience was silent. No one questioned his strength. Not even that person challenged him. Instead, Uchiha Mirror took a deep breath and expressed his attitude again. I, Uchiha Mirror, have no objection. Then there was Sarutobi Hazaki. I, Sarutobi Hitoshi, I completely agree with Hefeng as the captain. Master Hefeng is indeed the best ninja among us to be the captain. Hufeng and Yan said in unison. Then Xiaochun echoed everyone. Only Danzo was stunned. He still finds it difficult to accept, letting a 7-year-old kid like Hefeng be the captain. But, Danzo finally couldn't say anything but nodded. No matter how you say, Hefeng defeated them with overwhelming power. Chapter 127. What is the most important thing? It's money. 3 more. Advertisement. Although Hefeng is only 7 years old this year, there is no doubt that his combat effectiveness is exceptionally vigorous. Relying on his own strength, the team formed by Sun Slash and others was directly destroyed. Compare it this way. It seems that Rizhen and others are very weak. Therefore, these ninjas were selected from the ninja school and accepted as disciples, focusing on cultivating ninjas. Now, they are all convinced by the powerful strength of Hefeng. Agree with the fact that he is the captain of this ninja army. So good. Phaegian straightened up from the ground, seeing that everyone had no doubts about Hefeng, he announced to them. Since you all recognize Hefeng, from today onwards, Hefeng will be your captain and perform your first mission. In fact, before the start of the Bell battle, a commission task issued by another country was received. Mission difficulty, S level. If Hefeng can accept this task and complete it successfully, it will undoubtedly make him earn a large wave of contributions. The reputation in Konoha Hidden Village will also increase. Although the current Hefeng has the strength of Shangnan, he performs very few tasks. The most difficult one is only a C-level task. I thought to myself in my heart. If you want to promote Hefeng to Shangren, your contribution and prestige to the village are indispensable. Actually, although Rizan is the only Shinin in this team, he is not the only one who possesses the strength of Shinin. Uchiha Mirror. The autumn road taking the red pepper pills takes the wind. Both of them have the strength of Shangnan. It's just that the tasks performed are not enough, so it is Zhang Ren. If it is too forceful, it will cause dissatisfaction among some people in the village. In fact, it is not good for the Japanese style to inherit Hokage. The most critical point. The pupils shrank and fell on Hefeng. It's not that you can be trusted by everyone if you become Hokage. Only by gaining everyone's trust can you become Hokage. This is very well reflected in the pillars and spots. Villagers in Konohane village, including the Uchiha clan, chose Zujian as the original Hokage. Is it because he is stronger than Uchiha Madara? Do not. It's because everyone trusts the pillars more. That's why he was elected as Hokage. Not someone like Uchiha Madara. Advertisement. With such lessons learned from the past, it is natural to be careful and considerate when it comes to cultivating Hokage. What he needs. He is the successor who can inherit the eldest brother Zuma, the will of fire. Not a guy like Uchiha Madara. In particular, Hefeng is only 7 years old now, and his cognition of the world is still in the shaping stage. At least, Jian thinks so. And take a step back. Hefeng is only 7 years old. It's not about raising him into Konoha's 8-year-old Hokage. There is no need to rush for things like promotion. Just take your time. And this task is an S-level commission task issued by a big name in another country. It is just a bounty, which is as high as 2 million taels. As soon as this remark came out, the audience was in an uproar. Generally speaking, this level of commission tasks will not be handed over to Zongren to complete. None of the people present have performed an S-level mission. Is it an S-level when it comes up? The breeze screams good guys. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The currency of Naruto world is not Japanese yen, but 2. Strictly speaking, when setting the monetary value, Kishimoto adopted the economic system before the neon inflation. Especially, in today's timeline, even the first ninja war did not happen. The value of currency is higher than that of Jiaodu. So 2 million taels, in today's Hokage world, is really a huge sum of money. This also means that you can spend so much money to hire a ninja's client. Either, people are stupid and have a lot of money. Either, this task is very difficult. In this world, there shouldn't be so many people who are stupid and rich. Hefeng muttered to himself and made a judgment. At the same time, he felt that the commission this time was probably not a coincidence. After the bell battle ended, I just remembered that there was an S-level mission commission. How can it be? I'm afraid it wasn't from the beginning. I thought about it in the interim. Delegate this task to yourself. If you think about it that way. Hefeng frowned, then looked at the men surrounding him. I always feel like I've been tricked. When I think of it again, the door itself is a deep, scheming ninja. Advertisement. The breeze basically settled this point. Of course, Hefeng is not from the Uchiha clan after all. Said it is a routine. In fact, it is also with the cultivation of harmony as the original intention, this task is specially arranged. It turned out to be an S-level commission task. I have never performed such a high-level commission task. Yeah, speaking of it, S-level mission content should be related to national-level missions, right? For example, because other countries joined the war, assassinating important people, stealing classified documents related to the state. Despite the efforts of the 5 ninja villages, a peace agreement was signed. No more wars. However, small countries often rub against each other and break out local battles. Usually a samurai is a unit. Sometimes, the big names of these small countries will hire some ninjas to join the battle. But in most cases, as long as the 5 ninja villages intervene a little bit, the fighting can be put down. Based on this background, Rizhin felt that the S-level mission mentioned in the door should not be joining the war. In particular, Hefeng will also perform this mission. Thinking of this, Rizhan glanced at Hefeng. Although he knows that Hefeng is a strong ninja, he is after all the grandson of Master Zuma and Master Shuima. Probably not when he was 7 years old, he would be sent to the battlefield. Presumably, this mission should be one of assassination, protection, and stealing of confidential documents. After some analysis, Rizhan suddenly felt relieved. And there is no continued selling. The content of this mission is to protect the name of the country of Poland. There was a pause. After a week, the other party will pay 2 million taels as compensation. Such a sum of money is very important to the village today. No matter what you do, you need money. Today, as an agent village, he has to take care of all aspects. People in every department want to control him for money. But the main source of income for the village is to complete tasks in exchange for rewards. However, in peacetime, how can there be so many high commissions? So it seems that this money is extremely important. Hefeng, no matter what, this task must be completed by you. Economy is the first element of whether the village can develop. Remember this, gentle breeze. Seeing Feijian's serious expression, Hefeng suddenly had an idea. Maybe, I can talk to both corners. Chapter 128 Go to the country of waves, 4 more. Advertisement. The task this time is to protect the name of the country of Poland. Ensure that his policies can be implemented smoothly. In fact, in the first part of Naruto, there was a country of waves. It was the 7th class of Dasnahuyu, who hired them to protect themselves with the commission of AC-level task. And during this period, there was a clash with nostalgia. Although the ending is good, but against Dasna's behavior. Hefeng did not agree. While saying that building the bridge is the country's hope, the other side is unwilling to pay more. From Hefeng's point of view, it is no different from Yudang and Li. However, these are things for the future. The most urgent task is to travel to Poland as soon as possible to protect the name of this country. After a day of rest, all staff set off for the country of Poland. Just, in order to defeat the wind, he took red chili pills, which caused serious side effects on the body, and he needed to rest to recover. Therefore, this mission did not take part in taking the wind. Hefeng is the captain, leading Rizu, Danzo, Xiaochun, Yan, and Mirror. Work together as the escort of the daimyo. Because there is no perfect means of transportation in this era, so the wind and others can only go on foot and then take a boat to the country of Nami. Actually, the land of the country of wave and the country of fire does not border, and there is a sea in between. It is precisely because of this relationship that Kato, who controls maritime transportation, is able to grasp the lifeblood of the country of Poland. Even the power of the daimyo is far inferior to him. Of course, this is also a story. Daimyo should be the leader of a country. He would hire us to serve as the guard, why not choose from their shinobu village? On the way, because of boring, Xiaochun started chatting with everyone. Although in the future, she will enter the senior level of Konoha and serve as a Hokage consultant, in charge of the administration department. But now she is a little girl of 15 or 16. I don't know much about many things in this world. Not every country has its own ninja village. Nami country is a country without ninjas. Risen explained, the country of Nami is a small country surrounded by the sea, and the number of ninjas is almost zero. The escort of the daimyo is carried out by the samurai. Although the strength of the samurai is sufficient to deal with ordinary people. But facing the ninja, the samurai seems weak. Regarding some things in the ninja world, Rizan still had a lot of information. In fact, every country's daimyo has an army composed of warriors. Like the name of the country of fire, there are tens of thousands of samurai under his hand to serve him. But only a very small number of samurai can use chakras. Advertisement. Once you encounter the elite shinin, there is basically no possibility of fighting back. In addition, the mission level this time is S level, and Hisaki believes that it is possible that they will encounter a ninja. It can be said to be 100%. In the final analysis, a small country like Poland has a lack of economy and the people's standard of living is average. Rizan couldn't help but shook his head. Daimyo is willing to hire 2 million ninjas. Presumably he is really in big trouble this time. 2 million taels is a considerable income for a shinobu village like Konoha. Especially when I said the number of 2 million. The gentle breeze felt his eyes glow. If you do not consider the hostile relationship. Hefeng really feels. Maybe you can talk to the corner. I didn't expect that Jian would have such a great interest in money. Hefeng couldn't help but complain. But thinking about it carefully, this is not a strange thing. Konoha Hidden Village has just been established. No matter what you do, you need money. Carving of Naruto. The establishment of the village. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Can't let the villagers sleep on the street. It's messy, which one doesn't need money? As the acting head of Konoha Village, he naturally needs a lot of money to implement his policies. As well as win the hearts of the people and develop the village. In fact, it can be seen from the fact that Zujian proposed to seal the tail beast at the Five Shadows meeting and insisted on asking for money. Things like money is really important, even if it is the god of ninjutsu. No money. Also have a headache. Based on this and that relationship. As long as Hefeng can complete this mission, earn a bounty of 2 million taels. It is undoubtedly a great achievement. The contribution to the village is definitely not small. At the same time, you can gain a lot of prestige with the breeze. In addition, he is only 7 years old and his village is well known, which is not difficult. Think of it this way. Advertisement. The routines in the door are really one after another, intertwined layer by layer. In an understatement, I just paved the way I'm going and what I'm going to do. Suddenly, the gentle breeze felt the city in the middle of the house. It is simply unfathomable. How far did his eyes see? I have to say that there is a grandpa like this in the door. Don't be too cool. After a few days of walking, the gentleman and his group arrived at the shore. The ship sent by the country of Poland has been waiting here for a long time, because there is no need to worry about villains like Cardo, the ship of the country of Paws. It's not like the 7th flight, it's just a boating, carefully and cautiously taking them to the country of Poland. Of course, this ship is not that impressive now. 10 years have just passed since the Warring States period, and no one is wealthy. Let alone the country of Poland. It is already very sincere to be able to take out a sailboat at this time. You are the ninjas of Konoha village, right? Introduce yourself. My name is Kirby. I am the guard samurai next to Daimyo Nami. Kirby came to Rizan and introduced himself solemnly. No matter how he looked at it, he felt that Sun Slash was the captain of this team. The two sides exchanged greetings. After confirming that Hefeng and others were from Konoha village, Kabi allowed people to set sail and head to the country of Nami. And the ninjas outside the 5 great ninja villages, I don't think Daimyo is so jealous. Well, use the elimination method first, it's definitely not Konoha. Cheyenne village and Yenian village are too far away from the country of waves, and should not be the first choice. I guess, there is a high probability that it will be a ninja in the Hidden Mist village. You said, if you meet a ninja from an enemy country, it will be from that ninja village. Then the enemy, only Union village and Wuyin village are left. Sitting on the chair, Yan couldn't help being curious. After some analysis, Hefeng expressed his thoughts. There are so many shinobu villages, who can guess it? Xiaochun said without thinking. Among them, Wuyin village is famous for assassination. It just means that when they arrive in the country of Poland, after seeing the daimyo. Hefeng took the conversation and said jokingly, it is to ease the boring atmosphere. Seeing that Kabi didn't say much, Hefeng and others were too lazy to say, just stay in the cabin and recharge. However, Kabi didn't say much about the daimyo. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Naturally understand the cause and effect. But, chapter 129 no need to write, just give money, 5 more. Advertisement. After a few days of travel, Hefeng and his group arrived in Nami country. And under the leadership of Kabi, I saw the name of the country of Poland. However, what Hefeng didn't expect was, the name of the country of Poland is actually a girl. And the age doesn't look very big, it should be about the same age as Xiaochun. This makes Hefeng wonder who he is. Want to deal with such a big name. It seems that it is harmless to humans and animals. Ninjas from Konoha, your task is to be responsible for the safety of the daimyo in the next month. An old man beside Daming spoke slowly. He looks at least 50 or 60 years old, but his words are very clear. It is not difficult to see that this old man should be someone like an elder. It is worth mentioning that although Hefeng is only 7 years old, his height is the shortest in this ninja army. But 10 years have passed since the end of the Warring States period. For people like the elders, when they are 6 or 7 years old, they become ninjas and perform tasks. Fight with the enemy. It's not a strange thing. 10 years back, young ninjas who died on the battlefield at the age of 4 or 5 are everywhere. This is the fate of the ninja. It is also the meaning of the existence of ninjas. Therefore, he won't ask too much, why is there a 7-year-old in this ninja team? He only cares, can these people protect the name? Next to Hefeng slowly said, however, since it is an S-rank mission, it means that the probability of encountering a ninja is very high. Although Hefeng is the captain of this team. But work like this kind of dialogue, explanation, etc., is too lazy to take charge of it. Simply handed it over to Sun Slash. In any case, it is still very easy to deal with these problems with the ability of Sun Slash. In order to ensure the safety of Daming, but also to facilitate our smooth completion of the task, I want to know the ins and outs of the whole thing. And, a ninja that might encounter. Although Hefeng speculated that the enemy he encountered on the ship, it was most likely a ninja from the hidden Misty Village. But if it can be confirmed from the daimyo, naturally, it couldn't be better. After all, ninjas are good at analysis, but they are obsessed with their own analysis and do not listen to the information provided by others. That's stupid. The contest of ninjas is a contest of intelligence. If you can grasp the other side's intelligence, it's tantamount to taking the upper hand. Rizan talked eloquently, acting calmly. In any case, Boji Nation and them are in the same camp. Advertisement. Rizan really couldn't think of a reason why the daimyo asked them to protect themselves while not saying anything. So, seeing Rizan's request so seriously, the daimyo stretched out her hand to interrupt the elder who was about to answer. She lightly opened her red lips, and her voice was soft and sweet. It's up to the concubine to explain the situation. As well as the breeze knows. The country of Poland is small in size and is surrounded by the sea on all sides. Therefore, the living standards of the people here are not high and the land is poor. It is a country with a rather weak national power. In order to be able to change this situation, just inherited the name of the leader of the country, decided. Found a country. According to this daimyo, the land of Poland is barren, and there is very little land suitable for farming. If you do nothing, nothing changes. Only the people of Poland will continue to be poor. So she thought of founding a country. Establish maritime transportation and exchange resources with other countries. Although the concubine is not sure whether this choice is correct or not. But, looking forward and backward, fearful, so I dare not do anything, do nothing. It won't make the life of the concubine's people better. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi concubine. Want to give it a try. The elder on the side took the words. However, Daming's policy is too bold, making it difficult for some people to accept. Even, some time ago, there was an assassination incident. According to the elder, they prevented the assassination of the ninja at the time. But, they sacrificed more than a dozen warriors. And recently, they intercepted intelligence through the deployed Sky Network. Those who oppose the founding of the country hired a new ninja and wanted to assassinate daimyo. Prevent the implementation of this policy. And it's different from the ninja who hired unknown ninja village before. This time, the other party hired a ninja from Wuyin village who was famous for his death battle. The elder paused for a while. You are still young, and you may not know much about Wuyin village. During the Warring States period, the war was still based on the family. The ninjas there are very famous. Among them, the Ghost Lantern clan and the Wei clan are quite scary. Advertisement. In fact, it was out of fear of Wuyin village. That's why the daimyo did not hesitate to pay 2 million taels to ask Konoha village to protect her. Until, the founding policy was successfully completed. As long as maritime transportation is established, even if the concubine body is killed by a ninja, the policy can continue. Hefeng looked up and down at the daimyo in front of him. This little girl is only 15 or 16 years old. I thought she was worried about her life. Unexpectedly, it was for the establishment of maritime transportation. No wonder, she would not hesitate to pay 2 million taels to hire ninjas from Konoha village. This is not just her problem. But, the future of Poland. It's just that the future maritime transportation will not only fail to change the destiny of poverty in this country, but will push this country into the abyss. Hefeng couldn't help but sigh. In many cases, most people do not want to end the troubled times. Live a better life. They just want to escape from one troubled world to another. This is not only their sorrow, but also the country's misfortune. You know, it is the working people who create the human world. Everything should belong to the workers. Those landlords and capital are just parasites of this country. It is almost the same as the snake and the beast. I know. Hefeng took a deep breath. If this is the case, then we will ensure your safety in the next month. Let your policy go on smoothly. The daimyo didn't expect Hefeng to say this suddenly. She stared at Hefeng blankly. I feel that the 6 or 7-year-old child in front of me looks so reliable. Then, thank you, kid. The daimyo said with a smile, and couldn't help but want to squeeze the gentle face. Who knows? Her movements were easily avoided by the gentle wind. First of all, I am not a kid. Hefeng smiled and shook his head. I am the captain of this ninja army. Secondly, and the most important point, you don't need to thank you, because you need to give money. As long as you pay, the water shadow of Wuyin village will come. I can't kill you either. I said. Chapter 130 Chakra that shocked the audience, one more. Advertisement. What? Is the 7-year-old child in front of him the captain of this ninja army? The daimyo was stunned on the spot, looking at the wind in an incredible way. In fact, it's not just a big name. Among all the people present. Except for the Konoha ninja who understands the strength of the wind, the others are extremely shocked. Even the elders of the country of waves couldn't help but be surprised. Having experienced the Sengoku period, he knew that it was common for ninjas to put 4 or 5-year-old children on the battlefield. But, he was the captain of a ninja army at the age of 6 or 7. How terrifying is his talent? The most important thing is when Hefeng speaks these words lightly. The Konoha ninja next to him had no objection to this, and looked extremely normal. This means that in the hearts of these people, all have no objection to Hefeng being the captain. They are convinced. This is where the elders feel incredible. Let a 6 or 7-year-old kid be the captain. Kirby couldn't help but complain. He thought that Hefeng was just a member of this ninja army. But I never thought that he turned out to be the captain. For a time, he not only raised questions about Hefeng. And his thoughts were actually the thoughts of everyone present who didn't understand Hefeng. It's just that Kirby said it on the spot. As the escort of the daimyo, he has the responsibility and obligation to ensure the safety of daimyo. What's more, they asked Konoha to send ninjas to protect the daimyo. It is necessary to pay. And it's still a high price of 2 million taels. For a small country like the country of Poland, it is not a small number. Although Rizhin and others are not too old, at least they seem to be reliable. On the other hand, he was only 6 or 7 years old. No matter how you look at it, Kirby feels outrageous. The atmosphere is depressing. So, are you questioning my strength? Hefeng glanced at Kirby on his right and said softly. From Hefeng's point of view, this is not a problem. In any case, his body is 7 years old now. A child. When everyone else was still in the ninja school. He is already very forbearing. It is reasonable to be questioned by others now. Never mind. Sitting cross-legged on the ground, he placed one hand on his thigh, and then precisely controlled the chakra between the columns to cover his whole body. In an instant, the gentle breeze concentrated his attention and poured out this chakra. Next second, advertisement. Chakra stirred the air, bursting out a terrifying air current, spreading in all directions. The floor under him, the ceiling above his head, and the walls. Layers of cracks, leaving spider-like marks. Kirby, and the other daimyo guard samurai, did not expect that the gentle chakra would be so terrifying. Even this force forced them back a few steps. The elder hurriedly protected the daimyo behind him, only to feel a chill on his back. He never dreamed that he would be in a 7-year-old child. Produce this feeling. As this, Konoha's ninja. The elder rolled his throat, swallowing saliva involuntarily. At a glance, Hefeng was covered with a purple chakra, which was draped over him like a coat. Even he experienced the Warring States period. I have never seen such a terrifying chakra. Simply, like a monster. Even the elder suspected that if the person who assassinated the daimyo was a gentleman. I'm afraid the samurai here, as many as there are, all are going to die. Too frightening. Is this guy really only 7 years old? No matter how many times I watch it, I feel that the gentle chakra is really terrible. Rizan murmured in his heart. He has always felt that he has a lot of chakras. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, far beyond the peers. For this, he has always been proud. Until you see the breeze. He only discovered that his chakra volume was nothing remarkable. It's not worth mentioning at all. The same as that day. Xiaochun stared at Hefeng's profile blankly. Recalling what happened in the Death Forest the first time I met with the wind. At that time, he was attacked by 2 fierce beasts. In a critical situation, it was the gentle breeze that broke out the terrifying chakra and saved himself. Although Hefeng is only 7 years old, Xiaochun feels a complete sense of security from him. Hefeng looked around and noticed everyone's reaction before he smiled slightly. Put away the strange power. Of course, if any of you still question my strength. The breeze paused, and then doubled the volume. Then, he is welcome to shoot me. Revealed. The samurai looked at each other and found that their faces were only shocked by the strength of the Japanese style. The scene was silent. Without that samurai, dare to challenge the wind. Even Kirby was stunned at this time. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, how could he not believe it? A child of 6 or 7 years old. Advertisement. Can burst out such a terrifying chakra airflow. How can this kind of thing make people not surprised? So shocked. It's no wonder that Konoha village is called the strongest forbearance village. This is their strength. Any child of 6 or 7 years old has such a terrifying power. The daimyo of Nami country took a breath, and felt more and more of Konoha in his heart. Horrible. At the same time, her gentle performance also gave her a lot of confidence. There are such powerful ninjas to protect themselves. So this time the founding policy. It will be successful. On the side, the elders suppressed many emotions about the wind. However, the shock to the chakra of the Japanese style has never been subdued. No wonder. He just can tell. Just give money. Even if Shui Ying comes, he can't kill the daimyo. I thought it was just this kid's big talk, now it seems. He is indeed qualified to say such things. The elder muttered to himself. However, the ninja who bears the title of Shadow is the strongest one above tens of thousands of ninjas. It is not money that can be hired. Besides, Poland is a small country. Those who oppose the daimyo even get together. It should not be able to come up with a sky-high price. The ninja sent from Wuyin village should be of the level of ninja. If it is a gentle breeze, it must be able to protect the safety of the daimyo. In this way, after the breeze broke out of chakra, it shocked everyone present. Daimyo, elder, samurai, no longer have any doubts about Hefeng. Especially the elder, he hastened to arrange for someone to arrange a room for Hefeng and others. What needs to be done next? It is to implement the daimyo policy. At the same time, the country of water, hidden fog village. Water Shadow Office, the first generation of Shuiying Balian, looking at the commission tasks he received. The above request is surprisingly to assassinate a country's big name. Although it is just a big name in a small country, it should not be so good. Bai Lian thought about it a bit, and felt that with the financial resources of the daimyo, she should hire other ninjas from Ninja Village to protect her safety. However, the other party really paid a lot of money. Forget it, let the ghost lamp go.